joined this evening by Housewife's favourite, Dog Guesser, aka Tricky. How are you, good sir?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm in better shape than the last time I was on.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
3 sheets to the wind.
nearly got us banned from YouTube that fine afternoon,
That'd have been some effort, like.
wouldn't it just? But no, nice to see you again. PL is going to a wedding. He's going to dial in from a hotel, but he's stuck in traffic. So it's just us and Connor McCormack. I assume he'll appear at some point. 6:10 is a very early start, isn't it? Yeah, change of scenery for me. As you can see, I'm above a WH Smith's, which I'm not normally on a Friday night. And we are joined. Oh, bad timing there, but you're on. Mr. Infortune.
Just after getting a takeaway sandwich and just wolfed it down here as I'm getting to Shelburne Park. How are you doing?
Very well. I've done similar. I went to the local pub, got a takeaway chicken burger, which I ate in the pub. And,
what's wrong with that?
Washed it down with a few Porettis, which is the new big beer, which really does just sound like a little knockoff version of Moretti and Peroni. But no,
yeah,
nice.
it sounds very bohemian, very trendy.
It's what we like. It's what we like down south.
This is what happens when you're from like London, isn't it? You have to go in these like fancy wine bars and that.
I shouldn't talk. I'm a token Irishman drinking Heineken for the last what are we now? I'm 44. Yeah, for the last 27 years I've been drinking Heineken.
Heineken has got a chokehold on Ireland.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
Yeah.
I suppose it's consistency, isn't that what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we've been on air a few minutes. No talk of Greyhound racing so far. Tell it's a Friday. I quite missed the 3 nights. I enjoyed it last week. What did you make of it, Ian?
Yeah, like it's a long old slog, but it's hard not to get excited. Like from start to finish, each night there was 2 or 3 displays that sort of lifted you off your seat. I think we're all more confused than we were at the start of the competition. Yeah. I did say the market would change drastically from the first round to the second round because I thought it was a bit sort of arse about face. You know what I mean? And I think we're getting to where it should be really. I think the right dogs are sort of prominent. But again, there's going to be a few big dogs knocked out in the next 2 nights. It's just a case of guessing which ones they are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's much more of a head scratcher this week, isn't it? There's a few dogs in almost all the races that you put them a chance. Have you got a card in front of you, Ian, for a quick fire?
I surely do.
Okay. So Heat 1, the obvious chance is, I guess, a Glengar Scholar, Call Me Stephen Fawn Rebel. What do you make of that one?
I've been with Glengar Scholar since last week. I just thought the draws, he's on the right side of while they're a useful set of greyhounds, I just think he's probably going to get his own way up the inside. He showed a lot of pace last week, and while he probably has his own thoughts in the game, I dare say Pat Buckley will have this dog fully primed tonight, and I think he'll produce.
Yeah, I flip-flopped all week between Glengar Scholar and Fawn Rebel. A huge amount of respect for Fawn Rebel and very well drawn as well. So that'll be an interesting one.
My problem is if Glengar Scholar gets off the front and is allowed to do his own thing, I just can't see how any dog picks him up. Like he's a 28-10 dog around Ireland. You know what I mean? So,
do you think he'd go on the skin? Do you think he'd go on the skin? Do you think he'd just crack on with it?
I think he would. Yeah, I think he would.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Because if not, then he's going to be like very Moss Turbo-esque.
Yeah, I know he definitely will. There's no question. Like he's gone on about it before already. Do you know what I mean? He's only relatively lightly raced. Like he's still a raw pup, so I'm certainly more forgiving than most.
He's not a 74 even front tonight, is he?
Heat 2, Signet Denver, Sporting Chile, the track record holder for a very short amount of time. And I've seen a few Shrewdies, interesting infield Trojan in that one.
Yeah, I think Infin Trojan will edge in slightly. I ended up going for Sporting Chile, but it's very much a watching brief for me. Obviously signed at Denver, got the better of Coulivan Calvin last week, which is a very good line of form. But like while Ballymac-Belvold isn't blessed with massive early, he dives in, or he used to dive in from traps. I'm always conscious that, a dog can just make a start and get in the way. Ballymac-Belvold's very strong, so too is Amaze Seb, but it's not a race I'll be getting too involved in. I just took a chance that Sporting Chile might break a bit better than last week.
Yeah, that's a reasonable assessment. Heat 3, also got Aussie captain, Spinosaurus, Daring Deezer.
Dacia.
You know what? I've had it pronounced about 50 different ways.
Yeah, it's the name. It's basically the nickname of Waterford, County Waterford over here.
Okay.
And the daring crowd, the Maguires. The fact that they're calling it Dacia suggests that they always thought it was pretty useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Comerfords calling Kildare.
Gotcha.
I think it's tricky. I wouldn't like to be on Aussie captain at short prices because Spinosaurus is desperate for defence. I was amazed how well he ran last week. First run in the UK, bit of a weight variation, although he was back up a half kilo last week, which is worth pointing out. So he's back to close to enough to his racing weight. To pick up Hello Hammond, I know Hello Hammond drifted off a bit, and to go about it the way he did, I was very impressed. But again, he's going to really struggle to clear the likes of Aussie captain. Headford Mike's strong runner. PL has sort of convinced me that Daring Dacia is the one to back here. I end up picking him purely on PL's sort of recommendation.
I've taken a similar view. We'll whiz through a couple more. We've got time, Heat 4, Cushy Concord, Ballymore Border are the two talking dogs of this race.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen. I think Ballymore Border has a wonderful makeup, but I wouldn't back him with free money.
He's prone to a little misbreak, isn't he?
I'm just too used to him. I've seen him. I saw him win the Dublin Cup here. Thought he's going to be a proper dog this year, and there's missed start after missed start after missed start. And last week, while he does a 4, I know he did a 4:21 the trial, but last week, that's not too bad for him. A 4:31. I just can't see how a 4:31 wins a heat of this nature. If he has to go round in behind Cushy Concord and Hello Hammond, he's no chance of picking them up. Hello Hammond drifted around a bit last week, but if he gets on the bunny, they won't see him. He'll just go away. Cushy Concord, he's still a work in progress. It was his first run for Pat Buckley. He should come on first, but he's in trap 1. Stefan's Rocket, I thought, was the value. I thought he'd lead up the inside tree if he hit the lids. His problem is he's not a great starter. He's good early speed.
Heat 5. Well, is it all about Ted?
Again, PL has sort of convinced me that he does have a good makeup. I'm not convinced he's a wide seed. Listen, he'll go up reasonably straight, but he just dives in on the corner to a point where if there's something tight to the fence, he might end up on their shoulder. But there is a strong chance that 2 and 3 will clash. I couldn't make claims for 4 and 5, so I just think all about Ted. His class should see him prevail. I'd just be a little bit worried if 2 or 3 got loose and they were on his inside in the corner, because he does have that tendency to run into dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's focus in on the race at hand. Here we go. We normally start with 500. We've gone up to 600. PL obviously thinks we're going to be in for a tough night, but that's okay. I've had a couple of quid on Glendale Scholar while we've been talking. Just trying to get us off to winning ways. What did you make of the race, Tricky?
Yeah, I like the Scholar dog here in red. Like I say, if he fronts, if he goes on with it, he's just faster than these. He's pounced around the entire way around last week, and he's probably got the right dog in 2 as well, because the 2 does jink the bend a little bit as well. So I thought the 5 had a good makeup, and that's been 16 and bigger prices this week. I thought that was a bit big, but because the 4 is going to edge in as well, and yeah, I think Scholar will win, but at 2:32 now he's too short.
Yeah. Yeah, he's short and getting shorter, isn't he? Yeah. Forum Rebel, if you fancy Forum Rebel, obviously not fastest breaker, but the only wide seed in the race. Got a lovely pitch and a quick enough dog on his day.
I think the price is factored in, with Glengar Scholar, in the sense where he's not in the ping box, but if he does come away on terms, he's in the perfect position.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do this one?
If you could.
Right, here coming on the way now. This the opening heat, the second round. Best of luck to all involved. and racing. Good start by 4 in the middle. Swift Wolf going up strongly. Glengar Scholar up the inside in 5. Darren Asafa Boss arrives with a rush on the corner. Darren Asafa Boss hits the front. Traffic in behind. I think it was 3 hit the deck. Call Me Stephen. 2 is in traffic. Shomer Razzle, but out front, and Darren Asafa Boss at a decent price leads down into that third bend. Glengar Scholar gives chase with 6 Fahan Rebel, perhaps perfectly poised in third, but out front, Darren Asafa Boss. Here comes Glengar Scholar on his shoulder, and 6 up the inside. Fahan Rebel to the line, to 5. Darren Asafa Boss digging in, gets there from 6 Fahan Rebel, and back in third was 1 Glengar Scholar. Another messy race to kick off proceedings, but I think they're all up and running on in behind. But I think 5 Darren Asafa Boss has held on from in second. 6 Fahan Rebel, who continues to amaze. Glengar Scholar back in third. That's the photo finish. Wow, that was quick.
Good call there, Tricky. Should have come to you a bit sooner. Would have had a little saver.
Yeah, you're just well drawn, I thought. I thought that all week and I've done nothing about it, and then I've had a little bit playing unders on the machine there. Clown mob. But, yeah.
It's a nice photo finish, that.
He dug in, didn't he? Like he was, he looked beat for all the world when Fahan Rebels made the move up the inside. Something I haven't seen him do too often. Fahan Rebel, by the way, like Glengar, he had no choice. Glengar Scholar's out in the middle of the track, so he switches in. Comes with a late charge, but Darren Asafa, it was almost like he sensed him. You know, in the last 50 yards, he didn't concede much ground. Like he only conceded sort of, you know, a matter of 6 or 7 inches. Like to that point, Fahan Rebel had absolutely raced right up to him, and 5 stuck his neck out. Glengar Scholar back in third. I thought he had every chance to get to the corner where he was into the bend. 5 could have crossed him a bit, but I think if he'd driven the corner, he probably would have been able to hold his pitch on the inside of 5.
Yeah, Fahan Rebel's done a lot of running.
Yeah, a lot of running.
It's just one of those dogs that's just going to keep qualifying, you'd think, particularly from that.
It's very hard to knock out, isn't he?
Yeah, very, very hard to knock out.
Yeah, as we said last week, until you have an Amaze Me Seb and a Ballymac Belvo, Barefoot Supremo win against you, and all of a sudden you're not picking them up.
That's true. Or you get drawn on
There's the head on now. Call Me Steve was the one that moved out. 4 goes up relatively straight. 1, 2 go up straight. Call Me Steve was desperate. He's up trap 5.
He's a real strong running dog, Call Me Steve.
Yeah. There, Glengar Scholars in a lovely pitch in the fence. Just doesn't run around.
No, it couldn't be a better pitch, really, could it? That's Greyhound racing.
Yeah.
The powder's relatively dry. So what's your setup there? Are you in the commentary box, or are you?
No, I'm up in the Oak Suite, the same suite I was in last week. This suite holds about 100 people tight enough. It's the main suite in Shelburne Park at the top floor. This is where every Derby winning connection is celebrated probably for the last 20, 30 years.
Very good.
These walls could talk, but they have Wi-Fi here. I can plug the computer in. It's empty tonight. My commentary box is about 2 doors down. Out that door, 2 doors down on the right. That's me. Best view in the house.
Bomber said every 5 minutes, by the way. He's stuck in traffic. He's stuck behind a tractor, I'd imagine.
No one bomber. He's waved the tractor in. He's talking breeding with them. You know what I mean?
He's the one driving the tractor.
We were in Nottingham the year of Price's Blake, and I remember late at night, like it was about 2:30 in the morning, and I was with all the young lads, you know, Bomber and Dylan and all the boys, and all they wanted to do was talk about dogs. I said, lads, would you stop? I said, like, there's more to life than dogs. It's 2:30 in the morning. There's a few women around. Come on, chat to them or do something. No. We want to talk dogs. Like,
they've got their priorities right.
Been a line though, wouldn't it? Have you seen the final tonight? Yeah. What did you make of the sectional from the winner?
Interesting market forming here at Romford.
We're back in Romford. You're the one there.
So I mean, Sox and Antigua were a lot further apart than this earlier on in the day. In my view, Sox does its best running from track 1. And Ballymac's slap up will probably hold its line. So I think that's going to make it relatively uncomfortable for Sox. So I am favouring slap up of the 2. And they're a lot closer together than I thought they were. In fact, slap up's becoming quite a price now. What do you think, Tricky?
Well, I've not really looked, to be honest, but when I looked like about probably 5 minutes ago, I just thought the 5 had an all right makeup here. I thought everything else pretty much went in the rail and the 5 could lead out wide. And I'd take a chance at them sort of prices.
Another saver.
I love a well-drawn dog.
Oh, we are.
Especially at 20 as well, when they don't think it's good enough.
Yeah.
The Ballymac slap-up dog, in fairness, or not Ballymac slap, Antigua Socks, like you were saying, it wants the fence, but it can ping from anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
it's cleared some real early paces in the past. Now I know slap-up is pretty sharp, but just there's a strong chance these two are going to clash early. Is that not?
There is, yeah. I think
that's why the money's there for 6 Milton Rio.
Yep. I would agree with that. Sorry, not been too live in the chat. Who have we got? Oh, blimey, there's quite a lot going on here. Time that last race, 29.85. It looked that kind of time, didn't it? Awful race start with. Hope they're all okay. Absolutely. Casual Gent, good evening. Harry, good evening. Sharp Mental, really enjoyed his little series he's been doing where he gets Greyhound degenerates to come on and pick bets for him to bet with his own money, and there's been some very good analysis. Well worth a watch on YouTube, particularly ahead of the next round.
There's plenty of degenerates to pick from, of course.
And then just mostly comments about Tricky's drinking. So
what's going on here?
There's nothing in the chat that hasn't already been said, so no need to read any of those out. Ballymac slap come in a little bit more. Antigua Socks going out a little bit more to the kind of price that I was expecting it to be. Greenside Sydney's a very big price as well, actually at 20s. Capable of good run. Milton Rio's a bit shorter than I thought it would be. But it'd be interesting to see how the going is. We had our dog Corten Steel run yesterday, and the results were like 5-6, 6-5, 5-6, 6-5, 6-5, 6-5. He was in trap 1, and I'd gone to the local bookmakers at lunchtime and had quite a sizable bet on him, and I was full of panic. And as I opened up the screen on my computer and saw the tractor going around twice, I've never felt such relief. And he pissed in, giving it all the oi-ois at work.
The Romford going, it's something of beauty, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you reckon would be better, Toaster or Romford for the old tractor?
I'm in the office, I'm on Sporty Stuff TV, so I'm 15 seconds behind, which isn't ideal. But I'm probably actually in line with everyone on their streams, so
yeah, I'm miles behind here.
We'll see how far we are.
Well, Antigua Socks got a good start in the middle, leads up to the corner, 4 is on its outshot. I don't have the runner, so I'm just going to say it's Antigua Socks out in front.
That is in 3, yeah.
Top dog back in 3rd is 5. Ballymac Slap-Up's back in 5th spot, and the Milton Dog's out the tail, but still Antigua Socks. 1 is pushing all the way, only a length in it off the final bend, but Antigua Socks starting to ease on now by 2 lengths up the home straight. See, the fist's been pumped in the stands. 3-1-5 is how they finish. Antigua Socks away and gone. Loves a ping, does trap 3 Antigua Socks.
Yeah, you're not stopping Socks once it gets ahead.
That's 24 dead, isn't it? Like, you could probably set your time
all day long. All day long.
Like, yeah.
On his day, probably the quickest dog around 4 bends at Romford. That'd be a controversial opinion, but there's few quicker at the moment.
What was 4? Paced up very well. Didn't get around.
Greenside Sydney.
Greenside Sydney.
Harry, huge wide bars at Romford yesterday, forecast double backs in Clover. Yeah, it was.
There's lads, they literally don't have a bet in the first 2 races in Romford. They just wait for that. They wait to see how the track is running. And there's Romford, Crayford, there's a couple of others, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
How is it?
Well, lads, how's it going?
Here's Connor, you're okay?
Command the bomber.
Sure, look. Better late than ever.
Good to have you with us.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be on, yeah.
How's the internet in that part of the world?
I went on the bike there for about an hour just to get the internet going, so we should be all right. The worst part with that is Dylan for Simons acts like I live in the sticks, like.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Where are you living?
Julianstown.
Oh, so the sticks.
Oh, sorry. Asking another dub, that would have been a good choice, yeah.
If you asked me to point that on a map and get it within 100 miles or die, I would just die. I've got no idea where that is.
Top left-hand corner, top left-hand corner, just above Dublin.
Which side of the border?
Oh, it's south, yeah.
South, right? Okay.
Jesus.
I've got no idea. No idea. You've not got the accent.
Yeah. What part of Scotland are you from, Tom?
Mark sponsor Signet Denver the Nap tonight. There's a few that fancy Signet Denver here. What do you make of the race, Connor?
Oh, look, I actually thought this card was ridiculously tough, to be honest with you. I haven't even seen what won the first race. I'm only in the door from work, like, so.
It wasn't Glengar Scholar. That's all you need to know.
Oh, well, I went for him. Yeah. Look, if he wasn't in trap one, you'd make him probably a shorter favourite, like. But I don't know. It is hard to work out Toaster. Like the one box is I just think it's a nightmare. If you need the trap, which he does, it's just not ideal for him. Like, but look, he won the Laurels and Perry Bar, like, so he is a classy type. Like, you have to always give credit to that as well. And that litter, Forest Natalie litter, like he's probably the best in that litter now. Looking at it, probably touch and go, like, but I think that's Signet Oldest as well, like, and them types are in that litter, like, but yeah, look,
he's the strongest in the litter, isn't he?
Yeah, and his game as well. Like, I actually thought he was mighty impressive to win like he did last week. I thought he was a sitting duck last week, yeah, in the race, like, but yeah, look, he's a genuine type. But I just thought this car was a nightmare. Like, even Glengar Scholar, I didn't see what happened, but like I went for him because you have to in Davies comp, but just out of that trap one for a dog that has to lead. What won the race in the end anyway?
I'll tell you, we give you 3 guesses.
Well, I didn't fancy Fought and Rebel.
Right, go on. That's one guess. Go on next.
So the only Swift Wolf was in that race as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Keep going.
Then the only one that could have won. So it wasn't Swift Wolf now.
No.
So it has to be the 5 then, Seamus Cat's dog.
Yeah, it was.
Can't believe you didn't go for Call Me Steve.
Yeah, that was a logical guess.
Connections Call Me Steve are cursing you from their couch, going, can't believe you didn't even fancy to be in the first 4.
Well, to be honest with you, like he was gifted the race last week with Glengar Scholar and Signet Ace, like, so. Look, he's a 6-bend dog out and out, like.
So there's 3 dogs in the race as far as everyone on tipping competition, everything I've seen in the week. There's quite a few people very sweet on Signet Denver. Sporting Chili, is up there in the market by virtue of being the track record holder until very recently. I've seen a lot of shrewd money for Infield Trojan over the last few days as well. I think it's probably too open a race to have a really strong opinion in, unless you particularly love one of those dogs. What do you guys think? Do you reckon it's a betting race?
It's not for me anyway. Definitely not for me. I must say I don't fancy Infield Trojan. I was just looking at him again there last week. Like, he got to the front, and it was like they were all queuing up, and just none would sort of just get to him. But I think this week, where if it was in a similar position, one of them, like you said, Sign of Denver probably outpacing down the back. Belvolt would certainly outstay him. Sporting Chili would outpace him down the back or outstay him, and Amaze Me Seb would certainly outstay him. So I really don't fancy him. Like, he has to get to the front firstly, and then he has to hold on. Sporting Chili, I think, is capable of a start. I think 4 will edge inwards. He's certainly going to lead up the bottom. If there is any crashing up front, Ballymac Belvolt, Amaze Me Seb will both be finishing well. Silent Denver is the one to beat. If he traps on terms, like as Bomber said, if he's in trap 3, he's odds on.
Mm-hmm.
The fact of the matter is he's not in trap 3. You know what I mean? So they're in anyway.
Yeah.
Call it again, lads. I suppose I'm on duty, am I?
You're a good
unless Bomber wants to go. Hey,
Definitely not.
Away they go. Sign at Denver, huh? Right, they're all in. off. Son of Denver off to a flyer, leads into the bend from 3. Lemon Barticus on the inside of him 4. Infield Trojan now showing pace to go second, but it's Sign of Denver going to lead them around the opening 2 bends. Amaze Me Seb is at the tail. Ballymac Belvolt in 5th, trying to improve, but out front it is 1. Sign of Denver on by 2.5 to win second. 4 Infield Trojan. 5 closes fast. Sporting Chile. 2 Ballymac Belvolt poison the fence, but out front, and it's all about 1. Sign of Denver led from early. 4 and 5 clash. 2 Ballymac Belvolt runs on, but up to the line. Sign of Denver will score. I'd say it's just 2 Ballymac Belvolt second, with Infield Trojan 4th, was it, or 3rd? Yeah, I think Sporting Chile's gone out. Bear with me there. It was definitely Sign of Denver anyway, away and gone, lads. If he had been in trap 3, he'd have been 4 to 6. Probably.
What on earth happened?
Just here, they've hit each other the 4 and the 5, haven't they?
Yeah.
5's definitely through otherwise, and they've just tried to. 5's gone.
If they just slit each other's throats.
He's tried to go the wrong way, the 5, and he's just sort of indecisive and then just run up the back of it.
Yeah.
Look at Ballymac Belvolt on the fence. Look at Amaze Me Seb on the fence.
Yeah.
Now he does edge off slightly here to try and get his run, but he could never.
Denver's turned right out the box, hasn't it? Yeah. And if you, as someone said, Mark Sponsor, it doesn't matter which box you're in when you come out like that. And he's absolutely right. One's come out and could have gone anywhere at that point, but wouldn't be able to do that from that box in the next round.
Sporting Chile's after hammering into that 3rd bend, but then this is the point you say he doesn't know whether he's going to wait to go inside or he looks to get outside, and in the end he just runs straight into the backside of 4, and that leaves the door open for Ballymac Belvolt to, Bomber will, he'll tell you, he that's all he does these days is just finish like a train, but 1 Sign of Denver. To be honest, he was the class act in the race, and he was going to take some stopping. 1-2-4 was how they finished. I'd say that's judging by the first race, 29.85. I'm going to say 29.46.
Not a bad guess. 29.47. Or you've read the chat.
I can't see the chat. Where's the chat?
If you click on the right hand side, there's a little chat button. Or if you're on your phone, it's at the bottom.
Oh, show chat. Yeah, got it.
So we're 1-2 the result there.
That's just the inbuilt clock. That pushes lots of useless shit out though. That inbuilt clock is just destroying the rest of my brain.
Well, you don't need that in Shelburne, so.
Yeah.
Actually, how come they never have done that? Put a clock in the toaster, like. I know it's not a thing.
Don't go there again.
Please don't go there. It doesn't make any sense.
He's literally in the middle of doing it now. He's been on the project for about 3 years. It's in the works. It's coming very soon.
It never made any sense to me. Like, I know Romford and Hove and a couple of the Coral tracks that put them in, but it just makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's like they have it in a dark room and they don't even want to, reveal a few clocks. Like, it's mental. Like,
it is bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre.
It's not like they cost the earth either. They're only like $3,000 or something, aren't
they? It's a small investment for racing. Like, do you mean? Like, if the cost is never the factor of it, like, surely not.
You wouldn't think so, would you?
But I even know, like, over here, like, if there's a video on the GRI and there's no clock at the end of the video, people are going mental over it, like. Because everyone wants to see the turbine clock. Like,
it's very easy for people to find things to go melting about. That's the thing, you know what I mean? Worry about the big things, not the small things. And when it comes down to really, like, it's only an optical thing and it's just an engagement thing. But no, it is frustrating. Like, I finish every single commentary, and the winning time is, it's just my little sort of. That's the way I end. That's your sort of end point. So it's just a force of habit. But it's frustrating when it's not there. And the 3rd bend clock, like Bomber will tell you, like, since that's been introduced to Shelburne and most of the tracks in Ireland, in fact, all of them.
All of them now, yeah.
Like, it just makes such a difference. You know what I mean? You know exactly what a dog is doing. If a dog bombs out and you go, God, that's very impressive. Yeah, he should grade early. And he's doing 16.20 to the 3rd bend, and he's doing 28.40. God, he wasn't doing that much early. It was all home. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're doing sub 15, you're going, or sub 16, like, there's a real speedster. Do you know what I mean? It gives you that sort of.
It can tell you the difference. Say, like, 2 dogs who can do 28.50. The one who does 28.50 and is quicker to the 3rd bend would beat the other one in a match race 9 times out of 10. You would say, like, if they in a head to head, like. But, like, I'd always rather the dog who could do 16 dead, say, to 3rd bend Shelburne, and do 28.50 than the dog who can do 16.20 and do 28.50.
Yeah.
Because like you want to have, I always think to survive an open class race, and you have to be brilliant in one department. Like all dogs in open class are fast, but you need to be like, I always find a dog who's kind of good to the bend, good in the back, good home. They struggle. Like if you're kind of good everywhere, you want to be either fly to the bend, you want to be unbelievable from 2 to 3, or you want to come home like nothing else. Like I remember there was one time Ian was doing the clocks in before the Turbine clocks had been. I remember Bad the Honey was trialing over the 550, and Bad the Honey was coming quicker over the 550 from the Turbine home than the dogs were trying over 525 in the night stars. Like you just go like, it just tells you the difference in pace, like where they do it, like because the overall clock is only an overall estimation of pace, like.
Champ switch.
We've got a few Coral Coronation Cup races tonight. 6 pens from Romford. Not the strongest competition this year.
It has to, you have to question the timing of it, do you? You know,
Yeah.
it'd be one thing when a derby is, let's say, at Plough Lane or somewhere, and you wouldn't, different type of greyhound, but like Toaster suits a real strong running greyhound. A dog will stay 575,
Yeah.
and like there's 4 dozen dogs still in the competition where you go like that could be a champ stakes type dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I'd have to question the decision to run it at the same time as the derby. Was there no other competitions could be run instead of that?
It is an odd choice, isn't it? It is a very odd choice. But it's because this is the only round of it as well. It's going to be running parallel with a derby night as well. So it's not like you got the benefit of kind of getting a 2 for 1. It's just not as strong as some of the previous ones have been. And if we see a track record beaten in the competition this year, I will run 6 pens naked round Romford.
But like as Ian said, like the champion stakes at the end of the year is like it's just different grade. Like because the 4 bend dogs run over 575. Well, this year you have a lot of dogs like coming from 2 laps run around Crayford, coming back to 575 from Romford, and you're kind of going like this is even too short for them. Like, do you know?
Just think of the dogs you could have had around here though, like as well, like Lataro and quite a few of those that have been entering.
Call me Steve.
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, another one.
And they're the ones you want to see around as well. Like, not that I can't watch the 2 lap stuff. Like, and then
sporting chili. It's just sporting chili over the 575.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've backed Droopy's Garden here. I think it is the best dog in the race and a real doggy type. I would rather see Droopy's Garden the other side of Ballymac Honest.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah,
but Droopy's Garden would be even money if he was in 2 and Ballymac Honest was in 3. So I don't think there's enough between them to not side with Garden. Go Wide has said that Droopy's Garden had an infection. They found out after the Crayford race, which was 20 days ago. So I assume recovered or wouldn't be running here. Nick Hanshaw said the Coronation Cup usually in January they swap them round. Yeah, I'm not sure why. On parade, well, they could be going in. I don't know. I'm about 25 seconds behind here. I need to get RPG TV installed in the office.
Where's PL tonight, lads? Well-earned break, is it?
No, he's on his way. He's en route.
Oh.
He's going to a wedding, and he was going to do tonight from a hotel, but he got stuck in traffic.
That's dedication.
We got the young lads on.
I can promise you, lads, if I ever go to a wedding, you may not even ask me.
I don't think the wedding's tonight.
Oh, that's fair enough.
So what's the next big competition round Shelbourne then?
Well, the Oaks is currently going on.
Yeah.
Bit
of a shock, wasn't there, at the weekend?
It was, but if she's ever going to be beaten, if she's ever going to get knocked out, it was going to be the opening round. More and more, she just looks like a bitch that has to have those 2 or 3 runs before she really reaches sharpness. That's just the way she's been. It's all the way. It's actually now there's a pattern there. And I can promise you one thing: if she turns up for the Derby, and I'm sure she will, she'll definitely have 2 runs before it. You can be absolutely certain of that, because you can do what you like in trials, but until you have races, and she seems to absolutely thrive in racing. Like Owen tells the world that she's an absolute pain in the arse if she's not doing work, if she's not going to the track. She's the most whingy, whiny. She just wants to be out going, and yeah. There's a great competition coming up in Shelburne. Actually, there's the Champion 550, which is not the Champion Stakes. It's the Champion 550, which is for, it'll be for 20 whelps. So it'll be a lot of the Kirby dogs stepping up and trip their first time in Shelburne Park. The likes of, obviously, if they wanted to go down that route, they go with the likes of Swords Rex and a lot of the dogs, the Ballypool Heads of this world. But I know there's certainly 7 or 8 really top class dogs been lined up to that. That could be a brilliant competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, the form that really holds up well every year, like every year, like.
Right, I'll do this one again if you want.
Good man.
Right, here on the way. Don't think I've ever commentated in Romford before. And away they go, and 6 on the outside. Anastasia took a flyer 3. Drewby's Garden missed the kick 4. Now challenges into the bend, jump switch, and goes on from 6. Anastasia back in third is 5. Doghouse Dazzler, but it is out front now 4. Jump switch, Anastasia, and Doghouse Dazzler. Trap 2 is in behind. That's Ballymacdonald's, but out front and still trap 4. Chum switch, but 5 laying it down now. Doghouse Dazzler on the outside, and Doghouse Dazzler goes to the front before that 5th bend from in second. 4 Chum switch, 6 is back in third. That's Anastasia. 3 Drewby's Garden trying to improve, but forget about catching the one out front. Doghouse Dazzler has turned this into a procession in the end. Second was 6 Anastasia. 3 Drewby's Garden did unbelievable running to grab third. Keep an eye on that one next week. But 5 Doghouse Dazzler, a good winner for Nathan Hunt. Sorry, I had to scroll up and down. I can't get all 6 dogs on my screen.
You've done very well.
I'm using the app.
You've done very well.
He did some running, lads, didn't he?
Yeah.
Droopy Sydney first and second.
Doghouse Dazzler are certainly capable of a run like that. Just hasn't shown it for a little while.
It's norm nowadays, Ian. Droopy Sydney first and second.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Nathan's doing a great job, isn't he? He's absolutely flying.
Yeah, he's a man in form at the moment.
Hang on, lads, the bouncer's in.
Hey, here he is. Hello, PL.
That's not a very flattering angle.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Unfortunately, yes.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Can you hear me?
He's trying to show us the room, isn't he? That's what's going on.
Little tour for Homes Under the Hammer.
If I see Dion Dublin behind him, I'll be concerned.
And there's the stairs. And there's the stairs up to the bedroom. That's what Dion Dublin always says.
While PL's sorting himself out, question from a casual gent. Question for you all: what's the fastest dog you've ever seen? One choice over 4 bends.
Who's that to?
Anyone and all.
There's only one answer. It's Premier Fantasy.
Claire's Rocket, easy, every day of the week.
I'd go with Claire's as well.
Yeah.
Every day of the week. 27.87 Clement is the best run of all time. I don't care what anyone says. I know there's different eras and all that, but it's just like the track is now quick now. Like when he's 27.87 compared to when Swords Rex is doing that now.
Getting quicker, aren't they?
Yeah, since the new clocks have come in, it's definitely got quicker. But when Claire's Rocket to 27.87, it was like I think 28.30 was the next best run. Like it's just one of those
freak run.
And like he couldn't even run Toaster, and he still went off favour him and Shea, like the two of them. Like, but there was no back straight in the old track and Toaster, especially from to get going. Like he get going. Next thing, the third bend of arriving, and like he was an absolute freak. Like he was just a complete greyhound I seen. I never saw a Premier Fancy in the flesh, like so.
No, I'm telling you, he was. Claire's Rocket was very good. He would definitely have got within 5 lengths of Premier Fantasy.
Well, look,
maybe 4.5. Maybe 4.5.
I'm going to start a lot of controversy. I'll get a lot of text off, lads. But it's not like Premier Fantasy when he went to Wimbledon, smashed everything up by 5 or 6 lengths. He won by half. I look at this guy, half lengths. It wasn't like the clocks were different grade. Like, you know,
he was about to smash the record in the quarters or in the semis, and he was going to go faster in the final. He was
right. We've got a race
the
off here.
fastest dog that ever lived.
Call him home, Ian.
Am I up? Yeah. Right. Here on the way. Heat 3, the Star Sports TRC English Derby. Here coming up behind boxes. Racing, good start by 3 Spinosaurus, but 2 Aussie Captain grabs that fence that leads into the bend from 3 Spinosaurus. On the outside, 6 Narcos Dode. Then comes 4 slipping through. Headford Mike 5. Daring Dash is in 4th spot now with 6 Narcos Dode and 1 lane long range Dick at the back, but out front, an Aussie Captain trying to repel the challenge of Spinosaurus. You're going to meet him at the wrong point, and it's Aussie Captain from Spinosaurus and Headford Mike onto the final bend. Aussie Captain is going to make it 2 from 2, perhaps. 3 Spinosaurus coming up with one last charge. But Aussie Captain, very plucky out front. 2 from 2 in the Derby. Second was Trap 3, Spinosaurus, and 4 was back in third, Headford Mike. It was pretty much a 2-dog affair from the early yards, gentlemen.
Daring Dash is out.
My next best Aussie Captain, so I was sweating there going to the third bend.
He just rolls home these days. He doesn't stop. Just keeps going.
No, but his form, like to be fair, like in the UK, the strongest form has easily been the Laurels and Perry Bar, like you'd like Taro and Signet Denver and Aussie Captain and that. Like it was, to be fair, like it was the strongest form I'd seen in the UK all year. Like
I didn't think the 5 got enough credit from last week either. I thought it'd be a very good field and just like, I mean, it's walked out tonight and showed all kinds for the third.
He was in one. He was in one last week as well, which is a big thing. I thought just for the early yards from to get going. You know, 2 was a big difference from tonight.
Craig, you were talking about Daring Dacia, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Thought it showed like massive gears into the third and just like he didn't get enough credit for me. And it was well drawn tonight. Just
I'll find out. Try into that.
He didn't come home at all, Daring Dacia tonight. No, nothing's really come from behind. Like I know Ballymac Belvo grabbed second on the line.
Yeah.
I thought it checked off the 4 but I don't think it has a little slightly, but not enough. It's just emptied from the third, 4th. 6 is trod on the ground.
Well, Connor, you're taking a commanding lead in the tipping competition.
For the moment, anyway, yeah.
So
But yeah,
down for Aussie Captain, you got your next best
Can you hear me?
landed.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
That was a pretty clean run into the corner. 2 straight onto the fence, avoiding trap 1. Spinosaurus just edging slightly, but he generally went up relatively straight from trap 3. They're getting some twist out of Spinosaurus, James Turner. The Hazard Syndicate, obviously it's his second start for them. He's in a 3rd round of the Derby, won very well last week, ran very well tonight. And the Aussie boys, well, they've got Aussie Captain absolutely flying. 28-20 dog in Shelburne, Bomber.
yeah, and he was a proper 5-5 dog in Shelburne, like just bullet from the boxes. Like he was a Ballymac dog, wasn't he?
He was, but it was Georgie Roach that had him. I'd say Georgie
right,
got him at an early enough age. I wouldn't say he was,
that's right. Yeah.
I'd say Georgie did the schooling with him.
But yeah, like he was flying in the early rounds in Perry Bar, like, and just for me, like Perry Bar is one of the few tracks in the UK that's a proper 4-bend, like 5-5 competitive racing. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's not really a specialist track as such as like most UK tracks. Like, so yeah, look, he's holding up 2 from 2 now in the Derby.
Right, Coronation Cup, lads.
Few minutes off here. Come as you are. Favourite. Took place in the Derby. But I think possibly worth taking on in this race. Bubbly Crystal's got a nice enough makeup on the inside. Yeah, 24-22 dog around the 4 bends. Got a 13.59 sectional, which has every chance of leading. Rack It Up, I think, is not beyond the realms of getting a place in this race. Be unlikely to see it win it, but I think this will be a dog doing an awful lot of running from the fourth bend onwards. So I don't think it would be impossible to see it placing a nice enough price. I mean, it's not, it's not 20 odd, but I don't think beyond the rounds. But and Swift Raisin, obviously, are decent enough. You expect anything that Paul Burr brings down to Romford, they tend to punch above their weight and they go at a decent price, and you just feel like a mug for not backing it. But you can't back every dog in a race, can you?
You can, but you'll just make a loss.
Yeah.
The top is short though because it hasn't ran since February. Like, you know, it's been off for a long time. Like,
I just think there's a massive lack of early in this. Like the 6 could go very handy. It's got gears as well. This like the 29.30 odd trial at Toaster would be better than anything here. Like to 500 point.
Yeah.
Well, top is a 35.03 around Romford. So
it's probably just the lack of running, though, isn't it? There's a lot of trials there rather than.
Suppose I'm looking at trial here. Beat Doghouse Dazzler 4.5 lengths, the 2-dog trial.
what was Come As You Are in Ireland, Bomber?
I don't know, genuinely.
He was obviously
Francie Murray obviously had him.
Yeah, he's Francie, but he's 28.39 in Shelburne.
Yeah. So just because I can't help but get involved, I've just had a £5 on Racket Up to Place. I think it's a very good price. We're getting the full tour of PL's hotel. $29.52 that last race. Thank you for the times, Ethan.
Is Ethan on track?
He's just quick. Back to the tipping comp leaderboard.
Come As You Are was Honky Tonk. Yeah, I remember the dog. Yeah, fast Greyhound. Not the clearest. Like,
no.
Has he improved his trapping? Because he was never a lightning starter.
Not a prolific winner either. Yeah.
He's not really been coming away, but been showing pace. Just a misbreak early pace sort of wanker.
That sort of sums up his Irish form.
Yeah. When he gets it right, there's no early in this though. That's the thing. You could probably miss him. Probably miss him a length and still pace up and get round.
Swift Raisin is a 27.70 around Yarmouth. You can't really do that without showing a bit of early, can you?
Go wide. He's a reasonable Romford judge. Dave Mullins bringing Troy Zuzik along nicely. Small pay at prices.
Susie Q. Yeah. PL remember Susie Q. Anyone else?
No.
God, I'm old.
How old are you, Ian?
44.
Oh,
right, hair in motion. I did my hamstring today in the dad's race, the school sports day. Away they go. Good start by 3. Troy Susie Q. Now Come As You Are pacing up on the outside to challenge. It's Troy Susie Q, but now 6 Come As You Are. It's the front. Swift Races back in 3rd spot, but it is 6. Come As You Are clear up the home straight for the first time from in 2nd 3. So Troy Susie Q. 2 switches to the inside. Swift Racing trying to challenge at that point, just got held up, and 6 Come As You Are continues to lead, but Troy Susie Q not going away, trying to close the gap into the 5th bend from behind. 1 Bubbly Crystal making up ground, trying to challenge Swift Racing, but 6 Come As You Are kicks again from 3 Troy Susie Q. It's Come As You Are up the outside of the track going on to the Land of Spoils. 1 was 2nd. Bubbly Crystal did good work late. Back in 3rd was 3 Troy Susie Q.
Good run there by the 6.
Tell you what, it's left a lot of ground on at that 3rd bend there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was nearly on the train line, on the tram line.
It's really stopped, haven't you? Like, Jesus. That'll probably still be a decent run as well. I'll tell you what, they're a late sharp brigade there, aren't they? Like, the fist pumping as he's going over the line. Like, what are they doing? Roaring that like as soon as he's come out of the boxes. They need arresting for that. Like, there's nothing worse than when they go over the line, someone goes, oh. If you don't do it from the start, just get in the bin.
Craig, don't pretend you weren't doing that now in a few nights. There's a few unflattering photos going around of you at Toaster last week.
A few. There's got to be more than a few. Jesus.
One of my first ever commentaries was on the phone to my father. I was probably just trying to think about. I was probably early 20s, and we had a bitch called Get Connected running in a 750 at Harold's Cross. She went on to break the track record at Shelburne Park for the 750. She's a really top class lady. She used to run as wide as you like, but she'd been beaten twice to three times in her first 2 or 3 750s, and Dad was away for some reason. I must have got a lend of a mobile phone because 21, 22. Yeah, I would have had a mobile phone, and the commentary went like this. She's away. Aye, 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 for 41 seconds. And I remember after the race going, she won. No shit. She won by about 14 lengths. And all he needed to hear was she's away, because we knew there wasn't a dog in training that could live with her. She was unbelievable. She came from behind one night in Shelburne, ran over the hay rail, and she broke the clock by 3 or 4 spots for the 750. She still is the second fastest run ever for 750 on grass in Ireland. So that was one of my best ever commentaries, I reckon.
There's nothing worse though than getting the oi-ois going, and then next thing
just a little.
I couldn't believe last week they showed a live reaction of the head of the Champagne Club, and he's got they showed the whole reaction of him going oi oi oi, and then next thing the Heno comes from the next parish foot and shins them.
There's not but then
weekend.
If you had a if you had a camera on the wall in the pub I was on in Kilkenny, we're all huddled around my little phone, and and I had said to lads who have no interest in dogs, lads, if one wins here, the beer's on me for the next 2 hours. And the oi-ois off the final bend, they're going, Ian, he's still well behind. I said, it's over, lads, forget about it. Oi-oi! Oh.
Can't beat it. But then just oil your dog just it comes over the line. That's
you can't. You have to commit at one point in the race.
Agreed.
You think you're going to win.
At least before halfway. If you don't do it before halfway, then you just don't shout.
I like it when you've got a good staying dog and you start oiling when it's 4 dogs behind because you can see it's taking off. No better feeling.
Yeah, until it clips the heels in front and you feel like a proper pillock.
You need a clever dog. You need a Farlow Tango to be bold enough to be oiling at that point.
I don't get the opportunity to do too many oi-oings these days because generally when I'm on track, I'm commentating. So probably not the most professional thing in the world to be oi-oing during the middle of a commentary.
What a great job though to be able to watch and enjoy your racing.
Yeah.
There'd be nothing better. There's nothing worse if you bet one though and you get trouble in behind and just because your instant reaction is to go, oh, for fuck's sake. I couldn't be able to hold myself there. I'd just be
The clues are often there with my commentaries.
And 2 goes on to him by 7 rounds. Cheers.
Are you with us, PL?
It's very nice.
Yes.
Tom, it's very nice of you to bring your long lost uncle on.
What we should have is just have him sign language the entire things he wants to say. That's what we need.
Where our office is.
Any better?
It is. We've got a Weatherspoons about 5 doors down, and there was an ambulance outside there today. And for 5 hours, we saw a bloke get in and out of the ambulance until the police eventually came and took him away in a van. Are you with us, PL?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Oh, you can hear me? Right. Yeah, it's clear as.
There we go.
I've been listening all the time, but you just couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, we take everything back. Sorry about that.
You've come at a good time. The punting's not going well, PL. I'm off.
No, I've been listening, boy. I've been listening. Don't worry about that.
This is going shorter than I thought it would be, this Ballymore border.
It was a few shrewdies to fancy him, all right.
It's such a good draw, though, isn't it? The 4's going to ruin the inside, isn't it? And the one's moving off the fence. The one moved off from 2 last week. The insides are a complete and utter carnage here. I just don't want 5 to start, though.
I went for Hello Hammond because I just thought this is just a type of race that he'd win. He's the type of dog that if, like, when you fancy him, you know, he won't win, and then you don't fancy him come out and, like, I'd never oppose him, like, do you know what I mean? In terms of, I'd rather not pick something in the race he was in. Like last week, he said he's a machine, like.
He's the last dog in the world you'd back at anything less than 9-4. But when he's 5 or 6 to 1, doesn't matter what he's taking on.
No,
you have to have a punt.
Yeah.
Like if the top was in 2, 3, or 4, you're going, he's absolute cert to lead, like, absolutely, he can't get led, like. But just out of that one box, I'd just be worried, like, if Hello Hammond or Kilkenny Santi, they get in close to him, I think they might pick him up, like.
The problem is, though, he's moved off so violently last week from the 2. Like, and the 4's going to absolutely dive to the fence. I could just see the inside just completely smashing. Like 5 and 6 here for me, the only dogs I can guarantee a run for.
I could just see one getting loose. I agree. 4's going to turn left. It's more of a railer, but Ballymore border is prone to a bit of a misbreak, and I think Cushy Concord, if he gets free of the inevitable trouble on the inside, will just be away and gone. And he won't be for catching if he leads. I just cannot see what could catch him in this race.
If Stefan's Rocket is to lead around the corner, it's going to be on the back of a smash. And if he smashes, he doesn't worry anything on the inside because he's gone clear on them. He has tremendous early speed when he hits the ground. I just can't get over the price of 5, to be honest. I'd be very much, I think at 11-4 now, I don't think there's any juice in that. Just he's as likely to do a 4.35 or 4.40. You know what I mean?
Thing is, though, how's he not won last week? He's headed the De Niro dog and then just completely down tools, I thought.
Ballymore border.
No, the Stefan Rocket dog.
Yeah, like, it's as far as he wants to go now. You know what I mean? Like his style of running in Ireland, his problem was he was missing the kick, showing great speed, getting to the front, and then being picked up again.
The thing is, he's going 2 for 1 on it, going into like the 4th, and then he's got to the front, and he's just gone like
Yeah.
Yeah, he was huge in the back straight in Shelburne in the 550. Like, I remember, did he lead Good News one night in the first round of Derby or something?
No, he chased home Explosive Boy in the first round of Derby.
Not Good News. Yeah, sorry, Explosive Boy. That's right.
It was a massive run. Like, it was an absolutely massive run.
Yeah, because I remember he was one of the fancy dogs in Enniscorthy that time. He got to the final, the one with JT Wexford, and that was in.
Yeah.
And I remember Shay Campbell. They taught a lot of him, and yeah, I remember that night in Shelburne. He showed down the back straight. He showed massive pace, like, but he just wasn't starting. And then he doesn't stay 550, like. So I actually thought he was gutsy last week to try and get back into the race.
Yeah,
like I actually thought he ran well enough. I just don't. And he should lead 2 and 3, like. But I can't believe how Hammond led last week and he just gave the race away himself. I thought,
just drifted off. That was the problem.
Yeah. When he ran into Sport in Chile then and just handed the race away. Yeah,
I can't have Hello Hammond at a bigger price than Kilkenny Santi, to be honest, on exchanges.
It's quiet on the chat. Not too many people come out with an opinion on this race. Let us know.
I do think though, if the Cushy dog is going to put that track record in a Enniscorthy form and that too, I think he should show. He should boss this race if he's going to be that level,
contender. Yeah.
That level of a Greyhound. Like to be fair to him last week, he's in a Ballinabula Ed, like, so. There's no disgrace in that, and he went to the bend well. And if he's in any other heat, he's an impressive either winner or runner-up.
There's 2 things about that. The locals will always tell you Enniscorthy is always, for some reason, it's like 30 spots faster. It was the opening race in the night. Always 30 spots faster than the opening race in the night. Of course. Yeah. And he did a 306 sectional, which is equivalent to about a 392 around Toaster. Like, I've never, ever seen anything do a 306 at Enniscorthy. Like, you see a dog doing a 316, you go, wow, that can absolutely hammer to a corner. This is a 306. I don't know where it came from, to be honest. He's a really nice dog, but he's still relatively lightly raced. He's a February 20, but he's still very lightly raced. He's only had a handful of starts. And then you have strong runners 2 and 3. Stefan's Rocket's going to be edging in. Ballymore Border, you just don't know what he's going to do at boxes. And Coppice Brewer, while he's a nice dog, actually he could be a bit of value with 4 edging in and 5 likely to miss it. Me again, is it? Way to go. Good start by 3. Kilkenny Santee up the inside. Low Hammond 5 traffic, and now 4. Stefan's Rocket gets out after Kilkenny Santee, who is a stout stayer out front, but Stefan's Rocket up the inside. Kilkenny Santee on the outside 1. Cushy Concord improves, so too does 2. Hello Hammond on the outside 6. Coppice Brewer, but Kilkenny Santee leads to that third bend. Hello Hammond is absolutely hammering into second spot, but forget about catching the one out front. Kilkenny Santee clear off the final turn. Hello Hammond is closing, coming to the line. Would you believe it? Hello Hammond gets there. Commentator's curse. Hello Hammond gets there from Kilkenny Santee in 6th and 3rd. Coppice Brewer, that was Barefoot Supremo West. Just look at the traffic this dog encountered, but the pace he showed, that's why we were amazed he was beaten last week. Bomber.
Oh, I just knew this was a type of race that would suit him. A bit of a, he wants the bit of the rough and just he's just that type of
he's nearly on the deck there, lads. Like, I don't know how he got up. I think he's last. Like, Kilkenny Santee is a 32-40 Greyhound around Shelburne Park, 600 yards. Now, he scratched around the bend. He allowed Stefan's Rocket up his inside, but then he shook him off to the third bend. And you think, well, now go on, do your work. And he did. He quickly opened up again. Stefan's Rocket couldn't live with him, but Hello Hammond is absolutely hammering at this point. 6 on the outside. Coppice Brewer, a bit of an eye catcher back and now going into third, but you still think, like, Hello Hammond is after drifting off there again himself. He's down. He's 3.5, maybe 4 lengths down at one point there.
Yeah, at least.
Kilkenny Santee, his action just didn't seem to be there coming off the final bend. I wondered, did he just pick up a little something? But all of a sudden, Hello Hammond just takes off. Like, he didn't just win. Like, he wins comfortably. Like, he wins good length and a length and a quarter, maybe. Unbelievable run by the winner. Good run by the second for a long way, but then just sort of the wheels fell off. Another messy affair.
29.55 the time. I'd say the track's 10 slow.
Well, Hello Hammond's after losing about 8 lengths of running, so it can't be slow. Surely it can't be slow.
I think it started slow, and I think it's quickening up.
Yeah, I think as they're placing, I think you're right, Greg.
Just by the time the last race goes off, it's probably 20 quick. Just crazy how much the place dries out. I mean, that there. If you showed somebody that the Hello Hammond dogs runs the last 2 nights, you'd need convincing they're the same dog, wouldn't you?
Craig, welcome to our world.
Yeah.
This is Hello Hammond, one of the great enigmas of Irish greyhound racing for quite some time.
We know about Spinosaurus last week, and Hello Hammond's gone round the bend. You just go, right that off then. And then all of a sudden, you're roaring him down the back. You're thinking,
yeah, I know. He ran into Sport in Chile then, and nearly cost the 2 of them then. But like in the semi-final of the Gang 600, when he led the first bend on his own, like, I think what did he do, 32.05 or something. Like, I remember it was nearly
32.04, yeah.
Like, he was just, when he gets to the front, well, no, he's not in the front there, but when he gets loose, he's an absolute machine. Like, and I just thought this was a race that'd suit him. I just thought a bit of argy-bargy, they say in the UK. Like, he wants that. Like, he's a bit of a character, like, to say the least. But the engine is unbelievable.
Every now and again, you call a race and Pia will tell you, and you look and you call it and you go, you have to do a double take. The night he hit the front going to the corner in the 600 at Shelburne Park, I had to do a double take. And even then, I checked again to make sure it was the right race. Because, Hello Hammond shouldn't be leading up over 600 yards around Shelburne Park. As rigor mortis kicked in with PL.
To be fair though, to like even that race just shows the first and second, like the 600 final Shelburne Park form just holds up anywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just that grade. Like the Easter Cups, Gang 600, it's just different grade. Like, that's definitely the big difference between the UK and Ireland. Not even like, we have probably we do have the better dogs as well. Like,
Easy.
but running in the competitive grade, battle hardened dogs, and that's the difference between the Irish and the UK racing. That's what I think anyway. Like, just like you can get the top dogs in the UK, but they have to beat the same dogs. Like, and when you get a superstar, they just win by 5-6 lengths. While in Shelbourne Park, you said there's Susie Sapphire who can smash up. She won the Oaks, the Derby, the Easter Cup, and like you can go in the first round of the Oaks and you can get beat. Like, it's just the grade of Shelbourne, like, While the Susie Sapphire is in the UK, she has to fall out of the box to get beaten.
Is PL like been taxidermied or something?
Yeah, no, he's frozen. He's gone. What Bomber was saying there, like you go to Shelbourne Park on a Saturday night, like the Derby favourite is running in Shelbourne Park tomorrow night. The favourite for our Derby, and like in a race in the UK, he's going to be 4 on, but in Ireland, he's probably taking on dogs that would beat him 4 nights out of 10. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those situations where there's no such thing as a gimme in Ireland, because even if you enter your dog, race managers are very, very keen not to have a dog at 4 on in a one-off race over here. Like, sooner to just say no, we didn't have a race for you, and then run an open 525 without you in it, or a 550 without you in it. You nearly have to pick and choose your targets in the sense where there's a 2-run event where if I enter, they have to enter me. You know what I mean? It's wrong as well, because it's nice. Like, let's say Susie Sapphire was entered this weekend, they'll probably say, "Oh no, we didn't have a race for her." As far as I'm concerned, if the Derby winner wants to have a race, give them a bloody race. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Let her be 6-1 on. Like, it's not as if the Toast's not going to do the same money. Like, people still play, trios, forecast. 6 packers are still going to have their bets on the Toast. So I don't see the point in not having that run.
For me, anyway, like if you run like Susie Sapphire around there every week and she run a 4s on, 6 on, that's just a testament to how good she is, and can promote her as being like near unbeatable and saying, look, these are the prices she's going off. Like Frankel, it's almost like turn up and watch her have a procession, like, and just go and win races. And
now, as it is, as I said there about the Derby favourite 2 in a row, there's always 1 or 2 dogs floating around you could throw them in against, like a Croker Spirit, or one of the, like, Croker Spirit is as fast as any dog in training. And,
we tried to buy him, like, for Stu and Finley.
Well, I heard he was offered 100,000 apparently before. So
he certainly turned down 80,000 after his 5th. So
he turned down 100k for him. He did. But he was telling us that on the thing, and then his range of prices changed every day. It was just so much hard work. But,
did he always say you're the faster one at home? I love that line. That's my favourite line of Greyhound.
He goes, this dog will do a 28.08 at Shelbourne Park, and I'm like, well, why has he never done it? He's had like 40 starts there, and he's gone, you'll see. But Saturday night, you'll see. Saturday night, he goes and does like, I don't know, 28.12 or something. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
And to think I have a faster one at home.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason I'm selling. Oh, God.
Oh, I better go up, am I? Away they go. Good start on the inside by trap 2. Droopy's Diamante leads into the bend. Now 5 comes with a run. Richie Flyer doesn't get around. Instead, at 6, Montrose, another former Francie Murray trained inmate, leads off the second bend from in second. 5, Richie Flyer with 2. Droopy's Diamante back in third, but still 6. Montrose from 5. Richie Flyer 2. 1, Chivalry Habanero trying to make up ground. 4, Rihanna Magic, and at the tail, Underground Rose, but up front in 5 now. Richie Flyer takes over again from Montrose. Goes on by 1.5 to 6. Montrose back in third spot. You have trap 2. Droopy's Diamante, but off the final turn, a good winner. Ritzy Flyer wins well from in second. Montrose with 2 in third. Droopy's Diamante. Good victor there. Ritzy Flyer, not the cleanest on the opening corner, but turned second and picked up Montrose in fine style. Good display again.
Yeah, it was always going to be those 2 in the race. I hoped Montrose would have enough to lead and hold on there, but Ritzy Flyer is a quick dog and will certainly be in a very good chance of winning this competition. As someone said earlier, some of these heats are not that strong that you'd see for a maiden 6 bend around Romford.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, just like even dogs like Spinosaurus and stuff like that, that could have been in this. It's just so many, isn't there?
Yeah, you think about it. Did Airport Captain win the Coronation Cup?
Yes.
I think it did.
Either that or it was the Bars one. It was one of them.
Broke track record, he knows.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, Skippy had him.
Yeah, Skippy had him. Yeah, that's right.
The brother as well. Yeah, they were some they were fast. Like they were.
The brother was an absolute airplane. What was his name?
Pilot.
Did he hold the 5 o'clock in Shelburne? At one point.
Yeah. Oh, he got to the Derby semi as well. I remember he was fourth, I think, in the Derby semi. He just missed out, but there was a bit of a streak in them though. The two of them. I remember like.
Well, there certainly wasn't the brother. Yeah, there certainly wasn't the brother.
Oh, definitely. Like, because I remember even his early days, captain, when he went over, I remember like Skippy says Pilot could just bait him every day of the week in a 2-dog trial. Like there was no comparison. Like, but then I think Kevin Hutton had him, didn't he? He captain.
Yeah. He did. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, and he just
real striking dog. Big, handsome, black and white dog.
There's Susan now telling the world what Hammond is like.
The Hennos after chinning now 2 weeks in a row. Bubbly Apache and Kilkenny Sandy.
Well, I'll tell you something. I rarely call something like that off the last bend. You won't be catching this fellow in front. And he wasn't just picked up. Like, he was picked up by a length and a half. Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now if something has just gone slightly amiss with Kilkenny Santy, or I don't know. It's just action didn't seem to be there off the final turn. You know, for a dog that stays 600 yards very strongly.
Next race up here, Dylan Fitzsimmons been on. He's a decent judge. Speculative bet on Forte dog at 10s. I think Forte was Dave Clark's nap in the Racing Post this morning.
I can see why.
I like Dave. But I looked at his selections this morning and I thought he was drunk, to be honest. Now, as it is, for all I know, we might have one or two up already. But like,
that's a statement in this forum. Is a good laugh. You see that written down with quote marks and a photo of your face, and get yourself a bit of bother with that, Ian.
Monday's RP, that's what that is.
Listen, do you know what I love? I love the fact that we can all have an opinion. I just thought, wow, like his opinion just couldn't be any further from mine. That was the way I was looking at it. No, like that. The thing being said now, not that my judge is actually flying tonight or anything like that. I back to Low Hammond. How in God's name he won, I don't know, but sure we'll take it.
I can't get what
he got. In fairness, Darren Asafa Boss won the first for him.
There you go.
Couldn't have it on my mind.
Why? It's drawn like God.
Yeah. No, he was drawn like God. I just didn't think he'd win.
Same here though as well. Like the iconic dog and the freeze will be away from him. The six has got a lead. Well, not got a lead, but you could be cornered here again, and like Forte could get a pitch on the rail, turn third or fourth. And he's going to be finishing as better than anything. Like in this race.
This is a race though that all about Ted. That he probably doesn't even have to lead. Like if he turns second, like he says, if he turns behind Burn Turn and Swift Iconic, he'll pick them up. Like, you know.
Yeah,
was he the Irish Derby favourite last year? All about Ted.
There was a lot of money from him in the final, but like I think he won 4 rounds. He won.
I was going to say he was a bit of a drifter on the night, was he not? Did he end up not about 5-2, 5-1, 11-2 in the final?
I remember there was money
5-2, and then outwards it opened very short.
I remember there was money for him earlier in the week because he thought he had a plot of draw on 6, like, but
I think he was a major drifter sort of on the night. I don't think he was any shorter than 5-1. I could be wrong now. I was 11-4. Yeah. Maybe that was just my.
He was probably 5-1 on the machine, wasn't he? Or 4-1 on the machine, 5-0. More than likely.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
There's been some rumours this week that Toaster have been asked to sort out the running for the wide runners. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if they've done anything or not. I don't know if there was pressure or not. But that was the word on the street. So interesting. I think All About Ted will be a decent yardstick to see whether or not the outside's improved a bit.
He won Cosley enough the last night.
What's that?
He won Cosley enough the last night. Do you know what I mean?
He did. Yeah, he did.
Everyone says the wides are thingy, but I think the class of wides are not there as well.
Yeah.
See, the thing about All About Ted is he runs as a wide. He goes up strongly from the outside, but for the remainder of the trip, he's not running wide. You know, he's looking for the fence in a lot of places.
That's why they've sort of toyed with seeding him like middle, and they've messed about with him a lot, haven't they, with his seeding and stuff. So
his best performances have been in the stripes.
Tested.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me,
Pal.
Tom?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Just
Can
in
you?
time.
Yeah.
Just in
Oh,
time.
good.
PL. I'll be leaving after this.
Not really.
I've
got no pictures though, actually.
Oh, okay, that's bad.
That's an issue.
Bomber will do a few comments.
I will not do the commentary. Just let you know. Like, I'll leave that to the paid professionals.
This PL on the fucking moon.
Someone asked if he was pissed earlier. He was driving by hotels, so I hope not.
Forte's 6 now, lads.
Yeah.
I'm picking a place here.
Guesser, what was your nap?
This tonight, Dees or whatever it's called.
Dacia.
Yeah, I thought that was just the best drawn, one of the best drawn dogs on the card.
Dacia.
He just missed the kick, as you say. He should also.
It's not German dog.
Here we go again.
It'll be called worse after this.
Bomber, what was your nap?
Very boring, bubbly Apache.
Okay.
But I next best Aussie captain, so he was a decent price. Well, 94.
Trumpet comes out here after it's already gone.
Hashtag judge.
Yes, yeah.
My evidence, Craig, is on top of the tipping table. So
Oh, here he is!
Like.
Jesus
You can
Christ!
say what you like.
Okay, now. And he's pulled it up as well. It's not just top of the table either, like just flying. Completely and utterly flying. Must be counting the readies already, surely.
Who's at the top?
That's ABH, that's ABH, GBH, murder. The lot is just absolutely routing the field.
He'll be out to the country fair, won't he, buying a new prize pig?
Who's at the top, Tom?
That would be Connor.
By 9 points.
He's fine.
Can you hear me?
You have melted like something off some sort of space film.
PL's next dog is called Can You Hear Me?
It looks like it's going to de-pixelate and come back as the Terminator or something.
It's like Madden 2 Swords set on fire, isn't it?
Can you not see me properly then? No. Hello.
That was all the plastic surgery over the years, PL.
He's there in front of 3-bar fire and it's coming all undone. All about Ted, steady around even money.
I can before this.
No, they're wrong. No, they're not, yeah. Yeah, I could try, I suppose.
Can you hear me?
I'm in and out. I might as well turn it off.
The sound of defeat.
I don't know what you're laughing at, Tom. You're commentating for us at night.
You know what? I'd have a go, but I'm not in front of a TV, so I've got a web stream that's 30 seconds behind and in and out.
And taking the piss out of me.
And Connor has already said no, so it looks like it's on you, Guesser.
Right, well, this is my chance, isn't it? Surely.
No, I'm doing this one. To hell with that.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm going to leave on this one.
Have you seen the discrepancy, by the way, between Matchbook and Betfair? Betfair is 6.8 at the top here, and Matchbook are nearly 10. Well, you just never see that on exchange sites, like 3-point difference.
Good to see.
Take it easy.
I hope you have those tips ready, Ian, for that Aoife Dunphy send up a crew to you, not tonight.
I've already sent them on. All About Ted has collapsed, lads.
Yeah.
Collapsed. 8 to 11, 1
It's
point.
all the shrewdies.
What's he on Matchbook? 1.87 on Matchbook.
1.88. Yep.
Wow, the top's gone on match. What now?
That's it now. It's suspended now.
What's he doing
All
here?
in. Heat
Oh,
5,
yeah.
the Star Sports TRC English Derby, second round. PL would look good in that gear, wouldn't he? Top hat.
Clockwork Orange.
Tell you what, that's a break.
Hair in motion.
good.
1, Skywalker Forte. In 2, we have Swift Iconic.
What, Forte?
4, Jamira Jimmy. 5 is Milton
Forte.
Noah. And 6, All About Ted. Away they go. A good start by 2, Swift Iconic up the inside. Leads into the bend from in second spot. 3, Burnchurch Mick. Then comes 6, All About Ted. But out front it is 2, Swift Iconic that leads into the back straight from 3. Burnchurch Mick, All About Ted back in third. But in a spot of bother as Skywalker Forte moves on. Now 5, Milton Noah putting in a charge to the third bend. But it is 2, Swift Iconic still from 3, Burnchurch Mick. Will they come back to the field? Is still Swift Iconic. Leads off the final turn. Swift Iconic leads up to the line, wins well. Second is Trap 3, Burnchurch Mick, and it looked like 5, Milton Noah denied the fast finishing Skywalker Forte. Disappointing run from All About Ted, missed the kick, never really got involved, but a good winner. Swift Iconic, all about early speed, got to the front. Perhaps the speedier track as we're going on through the evening suited Swift Iconic because they never looked like getting to him.
That was something tough, don't it? They've just not changed order. And like where the one's turned there, by the way, I'm like, how is he not qualified?
Yeah.
It looks there like he just doesn't.
He might have tangled, hasn't he?
It looks like he doesn't. He's not really
the
happy
back.
tight to the fence. And then when he shook off 5, he stayed tight to the fence. And you think here, just go Skywalker. But I think himself and All About Ted bump at this point.
Yeah.
All About Ted moving in again. That's what he's been doing through his trial stakes. Took the bump. All of a sudden, Milton gets the momentum on the outside. He goes third. Skywalker Forte is trying to battle him off, and in fairness, looked like he had all the room to hold him off, but Milton just cut across him there. Meanwhile, the front two never got touched. Swift Iconic ran all the way to the line. More tellingly, Burnchurch Mick ran all the way to the line to grab second spot. So I think it's definitely running quicker. It'll be interesting to see what the time is, but Swift Iconic, a comfortable winner by a good 2.5, 3 lengths. Second was Burnchurch Mick, and back in third, Milton Noah. Skywalker Forte back in fourth spot. A bit scratchy at parts, I suppose the best way to describe it, guess.
Not many points on the board there. Ryan Keneally's chosen Swift Iconic in that race.
To be fair to him, he's an unbelievable card when you look at it, like,
He has.
He's very lightly raced pup, like.
This maiden derby isn't too bad in the end. 1 or 2 dogs running very well out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the bare face of it as well, like a couple of weeks ago, you'd have thought it'd been quite a weak stake, wouldn't you? But it's turning out okay now. Similar to the Laurels, really. I thought the Laurels wasn't the best, and then it's turning out, it's like the form's really working out from it.
Hindsight is 2020. Gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you. Best of luck. Enjoy the rest
It's
of your
been a pleasure. Thank you, Ian. Are we seeing you tomorrow?
I'll try and get in. You've only 3 heats left. I can do no more for you. Best of luck.
Thank you, Ian. It's been a pleasure.
See you guys. Good luck.
Good night. Okay, we go back to Romford. Tricky, what is the deal with the walls in your room? Is it plastered? You've never painted it, or is it meant to be that colour?
Oh no, this is the in fashion colour, mate. It's been plastered, but basically I'm moving in about probably 3 weeks, so I'm not fucking decorating it for him.
You what? So
it all needed like redoing, so I got it all redone.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I'm moving up north, so I was like, well, fuck it, just leave it.
So you got the house replastered.
Yeah.
Couldn't be bothered to paint it and then put it up for sale.
Well, the thing is, though, I'm not going to see the benefits of it. If I put wallpaper on it, it's going to cost me a deuce.
Do you not think you've devalued the house by having unpainted plaster
I don't
on
own
the
it,
wall?
so I don't care.
You couldn't give a house away that Craig lived in.
Yeah. It's like one of them haunted houses. If I've lived there, that's it, you're fucked.
People
Well,
pay a
as lo-
lot
as
for
lo-
the polished plaster.
As long as you don't get one of those UV lights around Craig's house, I think you're all
Oh,
right.
imagine the horror. You don't want to imagine.
Blood and semen everywhere. And that's just from tonight.
And we go to Romford for the 7:36. Bowshine Bullet is the favourite. Quite an inconsistent type, but probably the speediest in the race. Swiftcoat got some decent 4-bend times, but quite moderate with its starts. Wentworth, sort of 35.54 dog on its day, probably could win this at a decent price. Doggy Dodo, a reasonable starter when it wants to, 35.50-ish kind of dog. Burgess Elite's quite an interesting one. It's kind of been tried over all distances. Can win the right. Yeah. When it was bought, having done 28.52 round Shelbourne Park as a pup, you wouldn't have thought it would have been running 7:40 round Romford.
He ran in the Cork of Cullen last year as well.
Yeah,
He got the final.
Yeah. So an interesting one. I don't have any strong interest or fancy in this race, but an interesting one to watch.
I bet 2 and 3 at big prices. Just thought Cope's got to be better than the sort of price he is.
My stream's just gone down, so if you have an update, there we go. Off and racing. 3 Wentworth takes the lead at a tremendous price, followed around by Dougie Dodo and Swiftcoat. Wentworth turns the corner with Dougie Dodo in hot pursuit. Swiftcoat making a bit of ground. Dougie Dodo challenging. They go around the 5th bend. Swiftcoat swooping up the inside. And 4 goes on. Dougie Dodo, the winner. Not easy to commentate on a stream that is buffering like nothing I've ever seen before.
The 2's run well there.
He has to lead though on the 5.75, you know.
Yeah, and he's not fronted, and he's still run like a proper race, hasn't
he? Yeah.
You've got to be disappointed with the 1, I think.
He's not really inconsistent. Well, very inconsistent.
She'd like so many gears for this trip.
Just wouldn't have been backing that at a short price. Huge news though.
Nearly at the deck at the first.
Huge news this week. They are moving the camera at Romford. One good thing.
It doesn't make any difference. It's just dodging, isn't it, right now?
It'd be nice to actually see the racing, though.
I don't know. Just look at the results. Just bet there and look at the results. That's the way forward. Okay.
So, what's your involvement in dogs then, Connor?
Yeah, well, look, we only keep 1 or 2 dogs, like, just kind of got involved in it that way, like, and my dad and my granny kept dogs, and yeah, look, just went to Shelbourne and all sorts of racing, like, so we're only part-time, like, we're only just kind of a hobby, like, my dad's working full-time and I'm working full-time, but yeah, I've had a few nice dogs over the years and that, but we got into the course and then about 4 years ago, and we've only stayed in that since, like, so we've had a bit of success in it, like, so yeah, we're just kind of going with that, like, and kind of stuck in that game, but like, I just love the racing as well, like, just top class racing, and always follow it, like, but I used to go Shelbourne Park every Saturday. I haven't gone to Shelbourne now since the Night of Stars, but I always like watch the results and I'll keep up to date with it, like, but yeah, just stuck in the game, like, once you get bitten by the bug, you're stuck in it forever, so.
You are. You can waver. I've wavered in recent years, but it never goes away, does it?
No.
It doesn't take much to bring you back.
Definitely not. No, look, it's just the derby when it comes around. Like, it is amazing though. Like, the two derbies, they just dwarf every other competition by so much. Like, you know, the hype around it and like the 6 weeks involved. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just the prize. Like even the prize money, like the English Derby is 175,000 to the winners and that sterling. Like,
I think
so
it's
even
more
like
than that, though, isn't it? It's just more the fact of the actual buzz around the comp, the fact that the Irish come over, and like that's the one thing that's disappointing about the Irish dog is the English don't go over there. Like, why wouldn't you just take? If you had a dog good enough, why wouldn't you just take it over? I know it's hard traveling and everything else, but like,
but there's no excuse, as you said, because the Irish do it every year, so it's not like it can't be done. Like even some competitions, like you'd see a couple of Irish dogs. You said like they go over for like stuff like the Maiden Derby and that. Like I even remember like a couple of dogs going over for like the Ark and Swindon and Puppy Derby, the Ark and Swindon. Like there's no that's not an excuse to not go. Like in my opinion, saying no, the traveling. Like it's just hold on. It's I don't know. I personally,
some will do it. I've been over with Darren Holmes, the Carroll Weatherall kennel, and we had Inky Holden running
it's
over.
a rarity though, isn't it? Like, you know, even though there's dogs that are good enough to go over, and they just never seem to.
But it costs a fortune.
Yeah, but if you've got a dog,
expensive
you can go and
to
take
do
it
it. But the dogs aren't there anymore. I mean, I think 5 years ago I'd have agreed with you because we had as good a set of dogs over in England as the Irish did, but 90% of the good dogs are in Ireland these days.
I do think as well the problem now is that like Wimbledon was such a good track because you could win from the front, you could win from behind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean in Wimbledon?
Yeah.
And people spent big money on dogs. Like the type of dog now that you buy for the UK is probably different, like to what Wimbledon was before. Like, do you mean like the problem I have in the UK is that like you're trying to buy a dog for like Romford, Crayford, Harlow, specialist tracks. Like, do you mean like the only tracks in the UK that are similar to like the 550 Shelburne and that is probably what Newcastle, Hove, Nottingham, and there's just not enough.
And they've got their own quirks, yeah.
But like, there's not enough big money. A cat one being 10 grand to winner, and then like a grand for second is criminal. Like it's absolutely criminal. Like I even remember like when Matthews brought over Wide Open, even for the Maiden Derby, I think she got 500 quid for finishing third in the final. Like, and you said the money it cost to travel over. She went over. She never trial, but she went over 4 weeks in a row, and you come out with 500 quid.
As well. They knew they were going to be taking on Coulibaly Hoffer. They still come over because it's the competitive edge in them.
Well, yeah, but they also believe that they had something like you said. You can't just not go over because of one dog as well. Like, do you mean like you think?
Not true, but you're still the same thing, isn't it? If like you could have easily turned around and gone, well, we're going to be probably like a 12, 14, 16 poke. It's going to cost us, I don't know, 1,500 quid going over and back, and we're only going to pick up 700-800 expenses.
Yeah,
but you said even turn around and bin it, couldn't you?
But even the expense part, like you said, it's not about the money aspect as well. But at the same time, there has to be a financial aspect in it as well. And like I think the problem
it's the time consumingness in it of it all.
But that as well. Like, but like when you're in the game and you want to go over, like you want to go over to have a runner in the English Derby, like, and it's like the Maiden Derby is now a prep comp for the English Derby, like. But like I even like everyone wants to have a dog to go over with. You wouldn't think about the money at that point. But there's something wrong in the racing when you finish third in the Maiden Derby and you're coming out with 500 quid, like. And she was the best in the competition, hands down. Didn't go right for in the final. And then
draw, didn't you, with the two crossing her and her going the opposite way. If the one should have been thrown the opposite way around, she'd have probably been 2 on poke in the final.
Yeah, definitely. Like, but as you said, like, but the UK trainer's not coming over. Just there's absolutely no excuse. Like, to be fair to Jimmy Wright, like when he had Troopy's Verve. When he proved in the Derby, like to be fair, that was definitely the best crop of UK dogs. Last crop of UK dogs, Droopy's Verve, Rising Brandy, and Doris Wildcat. Mm-hmm. They were the three.
Came over, didn't he? Kevin Hutton came over, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, he came over and like Droopy's Verve won the Dog International, and then went to the Derby and he flew the first night, and went out the second round. That's what happens, like. But to be fair, they did prove they were as good as any of the Irish dogs, easy, like. They proved that in the Derby, and most years, like even he says Wimbledon, they will prove that they're as good as the. Like you said, for the English dogs used to win the English Derby, Wimbledon most years. Like, yeah, the Irish would dominate the early rounds and that, but I don't know. It's frustrating in that end of it. Like you don't get, like you want to see them come over, like, and like even there's dogs like, oh, he really suit a competition in Shelburne or something, and like they won't bother coming over. Like your man was the Kilmore Lemon was literally made for the 400 on Dock, like, and like he came over for the Night Stars, and like I'm not blaming Patrick Yancey, but he didn't even trial him. and he went never around the track, and he went into Shelburne, and he was beating the neck bar, like he nearly caught Arden Jet in the Night Stars.
The Kiwis was always one. They'd go over there with the right dog, wouldn't they? You know, they took Iron Butt for the sprint. I think I remember.
Keighley's they come over, yeah. I actually don't think he had a trial the year he won the Night Stars, but like he was the favorite. Like he wasn't favourite, but like he said, he was third in the English Derby that year, and he was leading every night in Wimbledon. Like when you have that caliber dog, you should go over, and there's dogs now that aren't coming over that can get to that level. And it's just, you said, I don't know, there's no excuse for it, like, you know.
You'd want to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I was like training dogs, I'd be like, I want to go over. And if I think I've got a dog that's, if I had like a Lataro or a Coulivan Hoffa or something, I'd just be like, I'd be itching to go.
But like Coulivan Hoffa was the fastest first round winner in the Juvenile Classic. Like now they paid the huge money for him, but that's what they have to pay to get them. So like he proved that of the pups in that stake, the first round, he was the best on show after Pack of Foils, probably the magical dog who won it in the end. But just because he sold to the UK doesn't mean he's a lesser type of dog. Like, do you know, like I seen the Lataro dog, he did 28.76 on the clock and yaw on the trial. I've seen the video. Do you know? And just because he was paid, like he was a big money purchase, like. But if he was left over here, he's probably going to be in the shake-up of the Kirby and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So like, it's just the way you have to come over, like, and have a go, like, you know. But it just seems to be they'll only come over with like
a complete and utter superstar.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like you said, like the Westmead Hawks and that. But like to be fair, like the English actually have a decent record in the Dundalk International when they come over, like. And the problem now they have with that is getting UK dogs to come over for it, like. And you're like, it's a 20 grand one-off race.
Yeah, what more incentive do you need? Like, to,
you know, like I remember even like the time when Jimmy Wright had Droopy's Fur event, he was like, it was no brainer.
Yeah.
Like it was no brainer. Like, and you're like, I've heard over the years they've invited dogs over and they said, oh no, we won't. Next thing you see him run around Crayford in a sprint or something, in a 4-band race in Crayford for 300 quid. Like, do you know what I mean?
I got invited to the Dundalk International when I owned Daily Impact, and we just couldn't justify the cost of it for a race that we didn't think we could win. But he wasn't top class like some of them. Yeah, we knew we wouldn't win it. We knew we'd be running for place money. Looking back on it, I regret it because it would have just been a great experience to have been involved in it.
It's a race, like, because obviously I'm not too far from the dock. I'm only half an hour away, like, but like to have a runner in that, like I want to have a runner in that more than I'd want to have a runner in the Night Stars. Like, if you had a choice, just because it's close to me and that, and it's not the great, like, it's not the greatest 550-yard trip. It's a very short run to the corner, but that suits some dogs. Like, if you know what type of dog you need, Droopy's Verve was a brilliant trapper, not the best dog into the bend, but if he got to the third bend, he kick on again, you know, and he was just fast enough, and he suited the dog when he went over. But yeah, like I know they won't run her in it, but like I'd be like going 12th of July is when the Dundalk International is. Like, Susie Sapphire should be in Dundalk, like short run the corner, the way she can come out of a box, out and gone, round the bend, you're in front in the 20 grand race. Like, to say like, oh, we want to keep the Shelburne, in my opinion, is a bit like just a waste. Like, you know, you may as well, like, it doesn't lessen the bitch for getting betting it. Like she got bet in the first round of the Oaks last year. Last week, no one cares. Like, you know. They all get beaten. Here we go, lads.
Go on, dude.
I'll attempt to call this my terrible stream, which is entirely behind.
My stream's gone down, so I don't even know what's.
Goofy's won the race.
Signet Goofy traps out in front of Deadly Showtime. Signet Goofy taking a commanding lead. Deadly Showtime back in second, and Narco's the Great following around in third. But as they go into the third bend, Signet Goofy is some 3-4 lengths in front. Narco's the Great doing its very best to close. Droopy's Good Time following in behind, doing a tremendous amount of running, but Signet Goofy wins comfortably. Back to Droopy's Good Time in second.
That shows how the track's running for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just complete and utter. It's just these races now are sprints for me. Like,
Oh,
you're
look at this.
back in to get to the corner. Doesn't matter if you don't stay, just back whatever's going to get in front. And I mean, I know it's done 29.53, but Jesus, like, I mean,
To see Deadly Showtime and the Bold Freddy go out there is not right.
But again, they're both skin dogs, aren't they? Really. But when the Showtime dogs turned here, he should be.
Yeah.
He should not be qualifying. I mean, Jesus, he's got 4 lengths at the corner there. So just no excuse not to qualify.
There's a few question marks with Deadly Showtime.
Yeah, he's a bit quirky, isn't he?
I napped him last week on the night that he ran purely because there's a trait in him where when he's never around the track, he absolutely burns it up. If you look at his card, every time he goes to track, he went to Shelburne first time, he went to Newbridge first time, he went to Dundalk first time, he went to Cork first time. He absolutely burns tracks up. That was never an issue. That's why they didn't trial him. Like they know, like Ramsbottom knows that's the problem with him. Like that he stopped. He has stopped in 3 races, I think, in Ireland. He's led. And he just jammed on the brakes and just stopped. He's just a bit quirky. Like I actually couldn't believe in Limerick that he went to 3 nights, but then he's doing a 150 out the box in the semi-final. I'm kind of going like, it's nearly like when it's new to him, he's interested, and when he gets a few runs, kind of goes off. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of dogs like that, though, aren't there? Do you know what I mean? To be fair, like they just
he's a special case. Like, he's actually stopped in races before, and like the best thing you can do for him, the best thing you can do for him is never put him around the track. That's literally I napped him last week. He was in 2 or 3. He was never on the track. I just said the grade as well. I was like, this is just something that's made for you.
There's another point there. I mean, have you seen the head-on of that race there? Like, why are you seeing him rail? Like, I know what people say about like you try and do your best for your dog, but if you're watching him there run from the red, moving into the 3.54 lane, like for me, you've got to ask questions like.
This was a race. I think this race and the first race was the two. I just went. These are. I hated them. I hated this race. I went for the Bold Freddy. I think just because he was in 3, but I didn't like him last week. He did 4:09 out of trap 2, and he just got the corner. Now he was brave to get it. But I just thought, I don't know. There
was a lot of hype around the dog, and I was like,
yeah, look, there was a lot
thinking, I thought this is over the odds.
Connections had a lot of money on him. I thought he disappointed in the Kirby when he won the first night and the clock he came up with. And he went back.
3 or 4 dogs that went 30 spots quicker.
Yeah, like he looked like the world was at his feet in Tralee, and since Tralee he hasn't looked the same article as you'd say. Like he doesn't look like that. And I went from this race just because I thought maybe 3 would fire him out, and Deadly Showtime you can take him on. I was worried about 5. I was worried even the 2 dog had some actually decent splits in his card as well to the bend. I was just disappointed with the property.
The way the track's running, I'm like, he's unleadable. Like,
I know I didn't think he wouldn't qualify now the Bold Freddy. That's why literally I put him in Davies comp. I thought you might get 2nd or 3rd, you might get something on the board. Like, but I'm after getting blank in the last 2 races. So,
what do you make of the next with the Ed dog? And
that's a nightmare as well. Like that's just I wouldn't even touch that. Like,
for me, if you could guarantee like a half a length miss off him like every night, I think I'd want to go and bet him for quite a few quid to win the Derby at 8 and 10. But you just think you can miss him 4 or 5.
You could see him missing it and coming 4th tonight.
Yeah.
The way it's going tonight, really, the dog.
I think he's a lot of
Ballymac dog.
He has a lot of class, right? He is classy sort, like, but it's just I think if it was in Shelburne 550, I just think in this race you go like he's a good thing. Like, do you know what I mean? The difference is a toaster. Like the Ballymac Leon dog, he doesn't have top form in Ireland before he came over. Now he's a young dog in that as well, but like the hype around him is the split he did last week, and then he also did. I think he did a fast overall clock as well.
He's never really broke like that before in his life.
No, like his splits are actually very poor in them. Now, to be fair to him, like he is a Coulivanny pet. Like Pastana, when he was before he like when he came back after the COVID lockdown, he was just over 2-year-old. He went into a different gear, so maybe the breeding, 2-year-old, you can just step it up again. Like you can't fault him last week, but I just don't like if before last week you wouldn't say he'd be mapped about the Bull Edge. You know what I mean?
No.
But yeah, it's a tricky race because even like Bucco's Belly, you can't fault him in his last few runs. Like I thought you ran poor Monmore on the Trainers Championship night, all right, but like in Toaster, he's been flying around. So it's just a mess here. Then you have Dealers Frankie, who won the Monmouth Puppy Derby, and like you have to respect him as well. Like, it's a race I'd be watching. Like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even attempt to bet in it. Like, it's a tough enough race. Like,
for me though, I just think he's the fastest dog in the Derby, and I'm looking at him going, and they're hard to get away from, aren't they? These type of dogs because they've got so much speed. And you go, if this happens, and I'm like, playing the if game is just the most dangerous game in the.
Speaking of if, Romford, this is the home of if you are betting a dog in this race, you need to be section under the 1983 Mental Health Act.
Oh, really?
This is the hardest race I have ever seen around Romford.
We'll go for the biggest price. There we go. There you go. 14 the bottom. There we go. If you're telling me it's the tightest race in the world, there you go. So, off on the bottom.
I looked at this as well.
And that could win a 13.59 sectional and a 35.60 would stand every chance of winning this race. There's a bit of crowding. So you could literally make a case for every single dog in this race. And as Harry says, run this 6 times, you get 6 different results. And I could not agree more. I've written on my notes.
Stay away.
Impossible race. Impossible. This is a bag's dream, this race.
Yeah, like it's just like even like Antigua Princess, like she's ran horrid the last 2 nights, like.
Yeah, she has.
And like he says, like on normal form, you'd say she'd have a big chance in this race, but I just don't know. You said it's like he'd have a few goals in this race. Even Bubbly Bollinger, like he's been trialing, now he's coming back for this.
Someone's given us an opinion. Casual gent, Bubbly Bollinger. We'll see. My stream is abysmal. And as they trap out, Baby Bullet takes a lead from Miss Dior. Bubbly Bollinger making a bit of pace on the inside. As Baby Bullet goes on, tracked by Bubbly Bollinger, Miss Dior. Into the 5th bend, Baby Bullet, a commanding lead. Bubbly Bollinger not doing too much to close down there. And a procession, Miss Dior back in 3rd. Did you see the photo for Miss Dior's race last week? There was uproar about
that. No.
Absolute
what was it? The result, was it?
Uproar.
There was something about a leg wonder that was underneath or something.
Got beaten into 2nd. I don't think the photo was ever shown. And 99 out of 100 people would have thought he won the race.
Did they not show it on Twitter?
I might be wrong. But they are changing the photo finish equipment because it is appalling at the moment. Dogs have like their noses chopped off and stuff. So
and where is the new camera angle going to be? Is it like going to be from like kind of like the old Romford one?
No, it's going to be closer to the 1st bend but higher up.
Are they going to have a camera on the line as well?
I don't think so. No.
What a waste of space then. As much as everyone goes, oh, that's great, but stick the camera on the line for fuck's sake. It's not hard, is it?
I mean, anything's better than what I had. So, someone said on Twitter you'd be better off having a camera in the middle spinning round. And you would in terms of getting a view all the way around, but you just vomit after a couple of races. 750, you'd be like, another 6 man.
Spew everywhere.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. This game is sometimes like some of the things that happen. If you told people outside the game, they just go, "What the fuck are you bothering for?" You know. And whilst a lot of like dog people and everything else, like I went down to Toast last week and it was class. Enjoyed it, but you still think some of the things that go on, you just think, "Oh Jesus."
Yeah. Comment from earlier from Keith. Jesus Christ, I'm setting up a sniper rifle here. I was attempting to assemble my ring light because when you're big on TikTok,
that's got a good side, isn't it?
Got to have a ring light.
You couldn't use that light in Craig's house anyway.
You could if you wanted to get up close to a bit more plastering.
But... No, because you'd see the blood on the walls underneath and the scratch marks. No one wants to see them. That's what happens when you bet at Doncaster. You end up scratching the walls until you just.
That is the one track that like I've just never been able to figure out. Two tracks. Doncaster.
It's like a Rubik's cube. Doncaster. It seems impossible until you get the hang of it, and then it's an absolute piece of piss.
Even though it has a lovely back straight, which is very hard to come by in the UK, it's I don't know. It's there's something weird about it. Like I just can't work it out. And
It's full of dogs, rats, and dogs that do things that shouldn't happen, and lames and everything. It's got everything. Honestly, it's just the best track in the world.
But the was it the 483? Like that is a great trip. Like there's
yeah,
not
it's a very good trip. That you could have the derby over that trip, and no.
Of course you could.
Yeah,
because you have a great run to the bend and you have a big back straight. Like, and that's and you said, and there's not really
no excuses. If you've not got if you've got a greyhound on there, it'll find you out. If if your dog's as good as you think it is, you'll see it there because that.
But like you can
perfect.
You can win from any box in Doncaster in the 483. Like if you're good enough, like you can't.
There's no bias. There's nothing. It's just it doesn't. If you've got early pace, you can win over the 483. If you're stay, you can win. You can pass, that you can do all sorts.
Even though it was like the consensus was you wanted early pace. That's what I loved about Wimbledon. It was just like you could, like there was, like you saw dogs every year in Wimbledon that were like I see like even the 600-yard dogs from Shelburne, like, and they'd be left fourth or fifth to the bend, but because when one early pacer leads another one, the other early pacer who gets led is a sitting duck, and then they qualify every night. Like, you always get them type of dogs that end up late in that stage, and it was just more.
It was a very good, very genuine track. I think the fact that it was so narrow helped because it was. I think they just got the proportions of it perfect. So it was wide enough that all the dogs could get round in their lanes with a relatively clear run, but narrow enough that the wides aren't just running off into outer space or anything like that.
Like, even the only one thing at Wimbledon was the one box was also a bit of a coffin box if you had to leave. But as you said, it was good for dogs who could pace up because you were on the fence then, and if you got to the first bend, you could just push yourself around then, Yeah. Look, I loved it. Like, I actually never got to go to it either.
It was an absolute shithole.
I know that, I know that, but the atmosphere though was a bit.
Shit on the corner and stuff like that was amazing.
It looked like Aleppo after the war. It was honestly just absolutely. The toilet was just like a big hole in the ground that everyone stood around and pissed in. It was absolutely horrendous.
But at the same time, it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. But like Shawfield, like I remember looking at Shawfield, like, and you could see like the rusted gates and all that, like. But I still love the Scottish Derby racing, like. Do you know what I mean? But no, like
them character of the places, they're almost better for racing.
But Wimbledon was a fantastic racetrack, like, and it's just like that's the one problem. Like, you rarely got dogs from like that's the one thing I liked about, like, you rarely got dogs that could run well in Ireland and then go over to Wimbledon and then they couldn't run the track. Like, of course you get one or two examples. But the problem I have with Toaster is you can get dogs like your Sonic or something who's like the best dog in the country, like, and he goes over to Toaster, you can't run the place because there's no straights for him to get going. Well, Wimbledon, you say it's just it was amazing. Like, just for like a 525 or 480 meter trip, like he says, like the Westmeath Hawks can come from the next parish to win, like the JT Jets and all them types. Like, so they there's no track for me at the moment. I did enjoy the derbies at Nottingham, even though it had the Bermuda Triangle third bend. But like.
I think they're better at Toaster than Nottingham. I think Nottingham was as bad as it got, to be honest. But
for a venue though, Toaster, like, you have to admit, like, it is the stage.
It's the best venue in the country by a very, very, very long way.
If you had a proper running track in the middle, you'd argue that it's better than Shelburne Park.
Oh yeah, no, like, to be honest with you, the facility. When I went I never went to the new track, but I went to the old track the last year, and it was the Dorset Wildcat Derby, and like you went into it and you're just like, this is different grade. Like, now it was brand new as well, that's why. But in terms of, like you says, facilities and everything, it was great. Like, but you said, like, look, to be fair enough, Shelburne Park has got a facelift since.
If you knock down the stand at Toaster and you got away with all the facilities, nobody in the world would go and watch greyhound racing there.
No, I know.
Like, you just if it was outside your house, you'd close the curtains, wouldn't you? Like, being honest though, you would. You'd just be like, this is not for anyone. But because of like the way it's all built and it's amazing, it's like it's really good, but it's just the racing shit.
The four bends, the four bends in front of you are tragic.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Just put a concert on the back.
And this really sums up the track. It's so close to being great, and they somehow managed to make it a bit shit. and that's basically greyhound racing.
Well,
But we love
the thing is,
it.
what I'll always give them though is the trying. Do you know what I mean? Like they've put the
they
money
are.
in, they've tried.
Yeah. It would be a massive job to do it properly, because it's not just the bends and everything. It's redoing the hair rail and everything, and they've got contracts and they need to run a business. And I get that, but it is a crying shame. But
I'm watching this on the Betfair stream, by the way, so I'm going to be ahead of you.
Don't be roaring there. Just watch on RPG TV on the app, and then we can all watch at the same time. Then.
Right, go on.
Even my app's gone down.
My app's terrible, but I'm miles behind. But I've done that, so. Fuck's sake, where is it? RPG TV. There we go. Right, yeah, there we go.
Bocco's Belly's going to lead.
Bocco's Belly leads into the bend. Ballinbowler Ed looking very strong on the outside as he goes around like an absolute beast that I've backed anti-post at a tremendous price. As Ballinbowler Ed just storms around the last bend.
Bocco's
Belly's done a huge amount of running there. Looks like Dealish Frankie back in third. Ballinbowler Ed has won that like a Derby favourite. And
he's a dog.
I can't see him getting beaten. I cannot see him getting beaten.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that's a break. That's a good break for him. That's literally a good break for a minute.
But that's a proper early pace race. Like Ballymacleon came out to the bars, like, and just shows you, like I was saying earlier, like just class.
He's not even broken though. No, he's not even broken. He's just so fucking fast.
I said last week.
Oh, he's just a big absolute fucking monster.
You have to recognise brilliance in this game, and that's brilliance. Like that's as good as
he's going to break with an half a length of every dog.
Yeah.
Each night.
And he's run such a stunning fluid bend. To come from behind dogs, have to go past all of them, and then just as you get past them, go right. I've got to turn left now, and run a perfect fluid bend around there. That race. Proper class.
That race has the Northern Puppy Derby winner, the Monmouth Puppy Derby winner, 29.04 last week, Ballymacleon, Bocco's Belly Derby semi-finals last year. Like he's after annihilating that field.
What he's done to Belly here from 2 to 3 is the most impressive thing about it. Yeah.
But I was saying, like I just know in Shelburne Park, I didn't know think he'd do it there. Like I just know in Shelburne in a race that he could break behind dogs, and he said he could just do that with his early pace, just boss them like. But he's after what he's done there to them. It's just.
The 2 to 3 pace impresses me more than anything he does. Like he flies to the corner, but the 2 to 3 and the fact he's like Bocco's Belly and behind him who stays like fuck, and he's held it and he's probably held it comfortably.
That is the best.
That is brilliant.
And has anyone got the clock? I mean, it almost doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter. It's the way
29.07 on that track. On the time tonight, that's a
29.07. There you go. That is streets ahead of anything we've seen tonight. He is an unbelievable dog.
Yeah, he's a proper dog.
Me and PL tried to lease him at the start of the Derby.
He's fucking all right in the end.
Are you joking? Do you not know what Kenley's in? Like
we tried to lease him, and we made.
Tom, you do know he broke the track record in Tralee now.
We made what seemed a very fair offer at the time based on his odds and what we were offering. In fact, tremendous value. But now I can see why we were laughed away.
I'm going to say, did they just hang up laughing and just go,
But like,
it was before the first round, before the Shrewdies saw what we saw.
You have to recognise what these dogs are costing and that. Like, these like, I can guarantee you one thing: he was not cheap as a pup.
No, I can well imagine.
Like, I know what Pat had him, but he's broken the track record. To be fair to him, like he put Manners on the track record holder in Enniscorthy last week, the cushy dog, like, and he's after you said Boston, probably the strongest field that we've seen in the Derby so far. Like it's just, he's after blowing me away there. Now, to be fair to him, Jesus, have to.
Oh, he's just got aggressive pace. And I love a dog that doesn't have to break. Yeah, it's not all on the break. He's just got so much raw pace.
Those type of dogs, they're always like that's what Logco Blake was. It was literally not a good trapper, and you said into the bend, he was just different gears.
Yeah,
and that's what he's after doing there.
The fact he's getting faster and faster, and he's run a first bend as beautiful as that.
He's a middle seed, isn't he?
Yes.
Because I was going to say, if he's in 4 the night he breaks, if he does a 4-10 or something, he's just going to
3 and 4 are the ping boxes. Yeah.
I don't think you can break the split. You can't break the split clock from outside 3 or 4. No way.
Yeah.
But Jesus, no, he is. That's a proper greyhound, lads.
Yeah. It's what this game's all about. And that's how you get people into this sport. You say, "There's this dog," and it's fucking incredible. It's like Franco with horse racing. I told all my mates, "You've got to watch this Frankie. You've got to watch this Franco." And it's got several of my mates hooked on it. You need a dog like this for people to watch. Falo Tango is always exciting. You need these big names. You need to make the most of them, promote them in this sport.
I'll tell you one thing. Confident Rankin as a stud dog is probably one of the most underrated stud dogs. Like for what he's probably got, like he bred Claire's Rocket was a Confident Rankin dog. He was one of the early crop, probably the fastest greyhound I've ever seen. Like Ballyan Sim won the Irish Derby. He was another Confident Rankin, and he said there's bound a bit of head. Like, so it just shows you, like, people do forget, like, because Confident Rankin's not in, you said the select studs, Frightful Flash Kennels or Droopies. You just don't get the bitches like that you probably deserve to get, and simple as that. Like Confident Rankin has produced some of the fastest greyhounds I've seen in the last few years. Like, and he just hasn't got the numbers. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, but there's a proper greyhound. Like, there's one you says you can in a few years' time you could be saying, lads talk about Premier Fancy, and you could be talking about.
Someone said that today I think it was Eddie said it today on Twitter, and he said people are saying he's the fastest since Premier Fantasy. And you can see the comparison, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
You can. Oh, you can.
It's an absolute freak of a fucking dog.
The white and the black dog.
He's at proper speed, though. That's the thing. To the corner, will he get away with them sort of breaks? If he was in with some feed.
But what Tom was saying there, like, if you have a dog, I'd rather the one that can do it when has that pace to bend than the one that needs to trap. Because the night that you need to trap, you're gone. I know the problem is he's middle seed. He won't be probably getting 4. If he gets 4. Like if he does a 4-10 to the corner, if it fires him out, he's just gonna break the clock.
I'm going to say he's going to go monster, right?
But no, jeez, he's after just bossing them now.
That's his food. Absolute rat of a dog. I put some food down for the Chihuahua, and the fucking Greyhound just gone in there, and she's just been gobbled it. He's sat in his bed now, sick as fuck. Poor bastard.
Oh, lads. There's only one more heat, is there?
Yeah, there's only one more heat. Then we've got the graded stuff.
Are we staying on for the graded stuff, lads, eh?
We'll do a couple of races.
Should we we'll do a few at Romford as well, sure.
Yeah, we'll do a few at Romford. Over at Romford, we've got another interesting race. I've had a little interest bet on Loaded GD, who I think doing another 13.72, 35.65 has every chance of winning a pretty mediocre race here. Glenvale Tony's not a bad sort. Kishlawn Shakira racing as well as she can, probably will win it, but not in the finest of form at the moment. So I'm taking a chance.
I'm going to take a chance with the blue.
Yeah, I think blue was my other interest in this race. Probably should have just laid 3 actually, rather than betting those 2. But we move.
Like it's got. I mean, he's in the Derby, wasn't it? Against all that 7. It's not gone off $1 million. Well, it has gone off $1 million, but it's but it's not.
I'm just never a big fan of going over the 2 laps and then stepping back. It's just something I was never. I'd never really punt dogs doing it, to be honest with you. Bar you had something that you were trying to push upwards. I just think it leaves. I just think some dogs just get in a habit of just kind of plod along, then waiting around.
Geez. Like we're seeing Fortune in comms box here trumpeting. This is all you need, isn't it?
Yeah. Go trap 1 here, can't win. 3 graded, but in the Coronation Cup, Romford 3 grade must be. I think it just says something about the competition, to be honest. Ian Fortune's back on, cannot keep away. Ballinabola Ed has a bright future. Keep an eye on him. Winky face.
My favourite is the lads who always like say, there's a lot of lads in the game who go, "Oh, he caught my eye." And I remember saying like, "Oh, he caught my eye the night you broke the clock in Trelino." I'd say, you know, the night you did 20-03 in Tralee, I said, you know what, this could be some dog now.
He can run a bit. This dog, yeah. He's done the
I remember, like I was talking. Who was I talking to? Someone said that to me one night. It was I think it was Baddy McFick or something. And I met this fella. I didn't know who he was, and he was a Shelburne. And he goes to me. He was talking to me and my granddad, and he goes, he's like, "You see that Baddy McFick dog?" He says he caught my eye one night here when he won the contest, the Derby semi. I was like, he won the Constellation Derby in his first season. He was a pup, and then I think he was the second. He goes, "He caught my eye here one night now in the Derby semi." I was going, "Look, no, caught my eye when he's head the night." And I was going, "Yeah, when he won the Derby quarter final or something in 29-40, like, just them type of outrageous statements." But yeah, look, come here. Ian, to be fair to him, he's tipped him up as his pick for the Derby before the competition.
Yes. No, he has, to be fair.
We won't be saying he's captain obvious or anything.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, that's so impressive, right?
But it's a big statement that I know. Like, it's a big statement that Pat Buckley uses that a fair few times now when he talks about dogs he's bought, and he's like, "Oh, he caught my eye one night in Enniscorthy or something, or he caught my eye one night in Tralee," and you look at the result, it was like he did 28-20 or something like. But like his kennel at the moment, like any ordinary dog man that keeps a few dogs, they could only dream of having one of them.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Like bobsleigh dreaming that, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. He came over with bobsleigh dream, track record 570 in Tralee. He came over with Cushy Concord, he popped before as well, track record in his court. He brought Vanderbilt Ed track record, like, and you're just talking about the depth of the kennel, like the arrows that you're getting to throw at the board, like, is just. It's just any normal dog man, including myself. Like, that's the one thing you get obviously over here. You don't get in the UK, and the GBGB don't help with that situation as well. Like, in terms of the person like who only keeps a few dogs, and you get that over here in Ireland. You get the people who have out the back one dog, a man with one dog. Like, we keep two dogs here. Like, and if you can get the right material, just because we can't go out and buy the 30, 40, 20,000 pound dogs, you're only recognised what you have. So I know a lot of people that only keep a few dogs, and if they had the dogs that a lot of these trainers, the big trainers had, they do better with them, or they do good as or better with them. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's just the way you have to have the numbers. You can't be successful at the numbers.
That's the part of it, just having the tools to go.
You need the number, yeah. You need the numbers, and you need the guys who can pay, like, who can spend money. Like, you need the owners.
If you have one dog, it can put you on the map, because good dogs attract them, don't they?
Like, if you wrote
one good dog and you've done well with it, people go, "Oh, he can do a dog." It might be 4 hours back from what it should be. Do you know what I mean? In theory.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like, you just need. You only recognise the animal you have, like, but it's just in terms of, like, you need, like, to be successful as a common trainer you need to have the owners, like, the money they spend. Like you wouldn't believe what some of the trainers, like, even like in the UK, and the money that we spend.
To Thomas O'Donnell about one night only. And we were speaking one time only, and we were speaking about him. So like, coming over for the English Derby, and he's like, "No." You're like, "Jeez," but they're on the lookout for other dogs as well.
I mean, like, you wouldn't believe what these dogs caught if you added up the aggregate of some of these dogs and their kennels. Like, you cleared national debt nearly.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
On our way at Romford. Kishon Shakira, broken smartly, leads the way around the first couple of ends. Followed around by Loaded Judy. But Kishon Shakira taking command. Loaded Judy going nowhere, though. Challenging. Glenville Tony on the shoulder of those with Barfoot Bullet. Back behind, but Kishon Shakira maintains a commanding lead, followed around by Loaded Judy. And Kishon Shakira home for all money, followed in by Loaded Judy and Barfoot Bullet. I don't think a future in commentating's for me.
The best of us three anyway. Craig, you should give it a go, actually. You said you'd give it a go earlier.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I was offering Ian one night in Shelburne when I was pissed. I was saying, "Listen, let me do the next race."
Craig, have you ever been to Shelburne sober?
No.
It's impossible.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I'm in
impossible.
the box with him and I'm going, just let's do the next race. He's like, no. I was like, come on. I was like, for fuck's sake, come on, please. I was like, just on the IGB, just like some pissed up Englishman going, and 2 takes over from 3 and 3. Fuck knows what's going on.
I do remember when Bowl Sports sponsored the Derby first. They had a commentator thing, like they had a video of a race, and like you come out and try it, like, and like lads were loving it, like even lads with nothing to do with dogs. You come out, lads on the piss, like, and you just go out and start trying to commentate on the race, like, and you be there, lads, and you can't even see, and they're going
rural way Derby, wasn't it, where you had to go and commentating on it.
Yeah, like, just saying, there was like a little stand, like, it's just stuff like that, like, it was a bit of crack, like, you know, and like actually lads were going over and having a go at it, like, but yeah,
I'd seen the race as well. They let me watch the race first off, and then I've had a go at it, and I still fucked it.
It's one of those things that, like, it's like, I'd say that's really easy, and then if you have a go at it, it's like to watch everything, and like even to know everything what's in the race, like, you just would be.
It must be tough.
They're interviewing Pat at the moment.
Let's have some aggressive and controversial opinions on this race, gentlemen.
Oh, lads, yeah. Look, for me, I went to Bubby Patch and I napped him just because I thought if he repeats anything like last week, he's going to win this race. Sign the Ace for me, like his just trials were diabolical for what his standard of a dog, like, you know.
His trials at Swindon were amazing though as well. Yeah,
but then I seen him. He did 2 good trials at Swindon, and then he's at this now. He's stumbling the boxes, and like he's getting bet. He's got bet now, and like for the dog of the year, the caliber dog he is, he's got bet in 2. He's got bet twice in his last 3 trials and 2 dog trials. Like, do you know what I mean? I thought even last week, like Glengar's car galloped all over him. Like I didn't think he was the.
That's just the type of dog Glengar Scholar is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but like you said, like, look at the clock, like as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if Sign Ace last in the Derby when he was leading, he was doing 29-20, 29-30, like on the front.
The thing is, though, the Apache dog here, if he pings from white, which he could do, the Apache dog's not coming from behind him, like. I'd be very surprised.
Jesus, I know, yeah, I know in Toast, especially when you lead, like, but I hate this race as well. This one, like, just you said, whichever one them probably leads, but I think though Sign Ace still has to come forward though, a big time. Like he's 29.78 try around Toast. I don't care what you say, it's just not the standard of dog he is, like, you know, and he obviously has his injury problems. He's been off for most of the year. He was impressive now with Monmore in the Trainers' Championship when he ran.
I thought he had better last night. Like even again, I know he got beaten.
I don't know. I thought he's able still to go to the corner, but I think in his overall clock, he's definitely lost. Like that's why he's definitely not going to the third bend as hard as he was, though. I think if Bubbly Patchy, even if he can lead, I think if Bubbly Patchy finds himself even just outside, near alongside him out at the second bend, he's going to pass him the back.
What's going to pick him up? Yeah.
You know, and to be fair to Bubby Patchy, like
the Cuddles dog here as well can go to the corner.
Oh, he can. He's massive early pace and Monmore. Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you what, I'd be taking the chances because if it leads the two of them, they might not pick the Cuddles dog up. At these sort of prices, like 8.6, maybe 9.0, 8-1, you're probably going to get the leader, and then you're going to have like all early pace dogs in behind, and like Camino and Stan miles back.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Look, I wouldn't punt in this race. Simple as that. It's just simple for me. It was just like when you're picking a Davies comp.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't pick an app. There was nothing I said. There was nothing on the card I said this is going to win. Like, you know, like that's the beauty of the first round because everything's so spread across and you have optimistic entries and all that. You can just look at a race and go, yeah, you know, like this things have to go wrong, and then you get the Irish dogs who are priced wrong for the, you know, just because lack of knowledge. Simple of them, like. And
if Bubbly Apache was 2-1 on here, you'd probably lay Bubbly Apache.
Yeah, the one.
If he said he was 2-1.
If he was 2-1 on.
Oh right, so I thought he said if he was 2-1. I was like, nah, Jesus, I'll be steaming him. No, he's one of them. I think he's about the right price. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say about him, right? If you take out Hennessy's dog last week, he's probably one of the most impressive winners of the first round.
Yeah.
401 section.
Yeah.
It was on the right track for him as well. Like, wasn't it? Everything was right for him.
Like my point is, Sign Ace was getting galloped all over in a race that was won in 29.68, and they were beaten probably they were picked up easy in the end. Him and Glengarry Scholar, like. So I just don't like. I know you're talking about. I know Bubbly Patchy's not a dog to come from behind, but like, surely out of the second bend in the overall clock, if he finds himself close to Sign Ace, he should outgun him. bar sign Ace comes forward. Like, do you know what I mean? It'd be interesting to see. Hold on. But the one thing I have about Bubbly Apache is that, as Paul was saying last week, he his last few runs, he's done a huge run, then he runs a stinker the next race.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay him a place at like 1.56. If he don't lead, he could easily pack it in.
But yeah, I definitely thought this card now was driving me mad. Like, I can't believe I actually got Hello Hammond in that update. They were kind of saving me probably from being in the mix-up. Like, but how's actually the table going, Tom? Am I still on top?
You're doing well. You're doing very, very well.
Oh, 17th. I'm happy with that because I've had a shite night.
I'm still late. Jesus.
That's terrible.
I need this.
There's some low scores there, isn't there?
And if you land Bubbly Apache, who's your nap? A bold nap there, Connor.
Oh, I've got a patch as well. Shit.
I only napped him for. I was looking through the card and I was like, I just couldn't pick. I was like, it was either going to be. I had in my head was either next best was either going to be Antigua or Aussie Captain and or the Bold Freddy. And I just said just the Bold Freddy. I just had it in the back of my head. I said, after seeing him last week, I'm not that confident on him. And then I picked Aussie Captain, just I'll go for him. Like, and then I just thought, on all things being normal, off last week's form, he should be different grade in this race. Like,
Do you want me to commentate here, by the way?
yes, we do.
Yeah, that'll be an absolute treat for the lads.
Yeah, I'm doing it off the Betfair stream, so you're going to be.
No, you go on
No.
to RPG, will you?
For fuck's sake, man. Hard work, you lads. What's that? Here we go. There we go. Because I need to try and keep the.
I won't lie to you as well, as I was late because I had to go to the shop to get beer. So,
There's no better reason to be late, though.
but to be fair now, since PL has had an absolute nightmare tonight, I'm looking all right.
There we go. Any chance?
Oh Jesus!
How can you be in front of me? I'm watching it on the fucking screen. Well, there you go. There's your commentary gone. And Signet Ace is leading from Antigua Cuddles, and there's only going to be one winner. It's Signet Ace. Surely to God, he can't get picked up off Cuddles. Oh my God, he is.
Oh, he's absolutely
He's not
shit
quite.
out.
Oh, three beats one, and closer third in behind.
No wonder he unfortunately let you in the fucking commentary box.
And my stream's an absolute farce there, by the way. It's let me down badly.
One's almost got up as well.
I know, yeah.
But how could Cuddles possibly pick up Signet Ace?
No.
In a million years, I don't
What?
It just shows though, Signet Ace can still do it to the corner, but he's still like I'm not trying to run a dog down. I just won the second round of Derby, like, but you said if there's something that comes home at all, probably picks him up there, like, you know.
Place like the patch as well. I'll do nicely. Sorry, Bubbly Club.
29-31.
Jesus,
There
you go.
I'll tell you what, the Cuddles dog in behind there's got to be a quirk to that. I don't care what anyone says. You can't do what that's done down the back there, and then other nights it's gone round in front and just stop in front. There's got to be a quirk to that. People might not like it, but
To be honest with you, I'm actually amazed that clock. I was watching that thinking Signet Ace probably not doing that in front, and he said Antigua Cuddles is probably coming to him because he's obviously walking.
Going that way though, when it's going.
But look, 29-30, he's probably after doing probably under a 4:10 sectional there, probably. So can't fault him. I'll take back what I said about him. I can say I was wrong.
Tipping comp finishes there.
Oh, we're all.
You're still well in front.
That can't be right, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Pissed up. 10 points for the night, and it's probably not even a bad score. Jesus. That's mental.
Getting your nap beaten is.
I wouldn't say too many people got their naps up tonight, though, did they?
Let's have a look. There's a few Ballinbola Reds, but yeah, not as many as usual.
I tried to stay away from Ballinbola Red because I thought he'd be like the popular dog.
Just such a tricky race. I don't know how you could nap him myself, like, you know.
I fancied him a lot, but I tried to stay away from it because it's like the obvious play. When you play these sort of tipping comps, you've got to stay away from the odds.
Yeah.
kind of like as well, like the problem that you should those type of comps, like it's not the same as trying to bet prices or anything. Like, you're trying to get points on the board, like.
And it's not the same as trying to find winners either.
No,
You're trying to find dogs that will score points.
Because you said the problem is like if you can get second in every race, like you're flying. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know? Actually, I didn't see the result. Who finished second in the first race?
Fawn Rebel.
Yeah, Fawn Rebel and Scholar third.
See, Fawn Rebel is always a dog that will score. You're probably
2 points, 1 point.
Yeah, do you know, and you have to rack that up as well. Like the problem is the ones that go out. Like, you know,
like Scott, I thought tonight Scholar might just get on the skin and might go and win, and then you could also have the argument that you'd have to kill him to get first, wouldn't you? Like,
I thought if he was in any other box than one, he was gonna out and gone and leading. Like, he'd be on his merry way. Like, and to be fair, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Fawn Rebel picked him up, but at the same time, he said just that one box is just a killer. Like, you know, for something that has to lead, like. You know, but the only reason I picked him was I thought because he's not a good trapper anyway. I thought maybe it wouldn't matter. He could just pace up, but I didn't see the race.
That's kind of what he did. He was in such a good position to go.
Did he lead? Did he lead in the race?
He went into the corner in a perfect pause to turn and just didn't turn. Just didn't take the corner very well. But I think he's that type of dog, isn't he? If he's like a bit like Bobsleigh Dream. If he cut loose on the skin, he'd do a proper run, but. Like in behind dogs, he'll probably just chase a bit.
They come in fairly quick to Derby Heats, don't they? Like,
they're over too quick. They should be starting 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's a bit of a joke, to be honest. It's just so a few degenerates can watch it in the betting shop, I imagine.
And the degenerates who watch the watchalong as well.
Yeah, them as well. But yeah. How in Ireland? How do you watch your racing? Like a Shelbourne Park, does it have to be Barking Bars, or is there any other way?
Has to be Barking Bulls, yeah. Look, it's not ideal. Like, I'm not trying to criticize them or anything, but I always thought like they should have a system where it's a yearly subscription. Like, you have to just crack where you have a total account, and you have to bet €1 every race, like, and it's just annoying to do it, like.
Yeah.
And the problem is, you miss a lot of races because, like, obviously you said it could be racing, you said on the TV or RPG TV, you could be doing something like, and if you miss, you go, oh crap, like I forgot to put €1 on that race, or like you said, you're trying to do it and the app's slow and doesn't load.
Yeah.
You miss, like, the amount of times I've missed a race like on the Barking Bulls purely because of that. Like, I'd rather say give us a yearly subscription price and lads would pay that, and then there's, like you said, there's a streaming service, something like Long Line This, where you go online and you can watch Shelbourne Park stream as you could watch it in the track, like.
Yeah.
You know, something like that now. But look, yeah, it's fine.
What they need to do is do for the Greyhound Derby first 3 rounds before it goes on RPG TV, picture in picture on Greyhound Watchalong.
That'd be the right job now.
Be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Oh, you could sell that fairly quick now. But look, it's something like that has to be done. The problem is you get some of the country tracks are diabolical pictures. Like, sometimes you're just better off watching them. Like, on the results the next day. Like, but to be fair, like I think like Kilkenny and Waterford, that they've got better videos since they got the bags meetings. Like, because they obviously have to live stream it. Like, but some of them have good streams and that. But yeah, like they need something like that. A yearly subscription would be great. Like, I just that crack of having to put €1 on every race drives me mental. Like, you know, just having to do it like every time. You know, it's just a bit of a pain. Like,
there we go.
Over to Romford, I think the price on this 5 is absolutely insane. If this pings, it's gone, it leads, it
6
wins.
does not want the 6 though, by the way. It's a Doncaster dog that was there, and it's going to absolutely. It don't ever really come away, but it will move in massively.
Yeah, I did my own tissue for this. I made Rossetti 3-1, so this is just a huge price. Scuba the Hulk run very well in the last one, and you'd expect to go a bit quicker without a bump, but just isn't always the quickest away, and it's Romford, and anything could happen at that first bend. I just think Rossetti has every chance of getting it cleared to that first bend and being away and gone. I think if it is, it won't get caught.
Fuck me. Brennan's Mick showed some right pace into the corner last week, hasn't he?
Yeah, Brennan's Mick went on my list after its race on 6th of May.
I'll tell you, Billy knows what he's doing as well, doesn't he? Puts him in with the female trainers. He does not mess about.
Christian Smith, flights booked.
Billy Brennan having a dog in with a male trainer.
I don't know.
Is Chris going next week? Jesus.
Yeah, Chris is.
Are you going next week, Tricky?
Yeah, I'm going again, mate. Yeah, I've I may as well. Got to be done, hasn't it? Really. I'm going to go back and try and find my wallet from last week.
Was there anything in it though?
Well, first night I've gone out and got shit faced and lost my. I was drinking with Rich and Dylan.
Yeah,
And
standard. Yeah.
Probably done about 100 Jaeger bombs between us all, and I woke up though. I've got my phone charger. I've got my hotel key on the thing. I've got my AirPods. I'm sound. I've woke up everything I've got, and then I've gone down to reception. I've gone. I said, don't suppose I've got a replacement key last night, and they've gone, yeah, you did. I was like, oh fuck. Like I have lost my wallet. I've gone back to every bar and then just got back on it at 12 o'clock, and by all accounts, I was sat there talking shit at probably 10 o'clock at night and sat in an Nando's or something. I'm
absolutely raging I didn't go the first round. Like
you should have.
I couldn't. I couldn't get off work. Like, I probably could have. I should have went to Saturday then, but I was like, such at home. Like, but no, I'm absolutely raging that I didn't go. Like, because I'd usually always go for the first round. Like,
were the bookmakers outside for the first round, or were they inside in the back again?
What's that?
Were the bookmakers inside, or were they outside?
No, they were outside.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was out. To be honest, the atmosphere wasn't done justice off the on the TV, and that. It was mint. Like, I mean, I must admit, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was. It was just brutal, like trying to drink with them lads, like because they've clearly got no liver.
I saw Eddie Goodall keep putting up a post for like 100 bottles, and I was like, I kept kept saying, "There's no way there's 100 bottles," and it didn't show me a picture of the bottles. And I was like, in the crate.
There must have been 100 bottles, and I was on the pints. And I just remember like just drinking pint after pint and going, this is not going well."
Yeah.
The best I've ever seen was on Irish Derby Fall night, and Chris and Dylan had organised this girl from the bar to come out with the drinks. Like, they'd paid her, given her a few quid before it started the night, and like she was coming in. And just like every time we turned around, there was just drink on the tray. Like,
Chris had 3 things. I swear to God, he knew 3 things. He used to go, "I'm the best judge on Shelburne Park," right? And then he knew how to say, that with his hands, and that was the lot.
I'll tell you one thing: Chris on the big nights always has some night like.
He's close.
And like it's not like he's like telling you after one. He's telling you the bets to start at night, and like he just cleans up, like absolutely cleans up the big nights, like.
Vibes on it, doesn't he? Honestly, he went in the bookies on the Saturday morning, bet something at Crayford, like 300 quid at sevens, it won, and you just like fuck off, just go away.
Rossetti being backed heavily here, my fancy. It's got 11-2 into 3-1 on track. 3-1 being the price that I made it. It'll still get beaten.
Well, you loser. That's what
you literally cannot eat value.
Are you commentating this until Guesser, yeah?
On me? I will do, as long as the stream's all right. Right, so where are you up to now? Are they going in? Flag being waved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, flag being waved. Here we go, the maiden final. The man in the security jacket needs to sit down. Come on, son. Stand down a bit. And Bunny's coming behind traps. And they are off, and Four's broke well down the centre, and so has one, but 1-6 is pacing up, but one's going to go around in front. No, it's not. It's going to move off the bend. And 4's gone round in front, and 1 follows it round. It's going to be 4 from 1 and 6, and then 3 back in 4th. 4 now is going 5 lengths clear, and he's going to absolutely shit up. And nothing is for catching the 4, and 1's going to finish second.
No arms going up in the air in that race.
Very Romford, that was. Very, very Romford. Just absolute bingo to the first bend there.
Yep, 4-1-6-3. Get me on the bags. Get me a gig on the bags.
4's come away well enough. Lovely filming there.
These don't have names.
I don't know. The Betfair stream commentary is unbelievably bad.
1's just going right at the first bench and annihilated everything in that round.
I thought it was going to go around. I did like.
The SIS comment, like, and also, do you ever notice with the 6 Ben races, they never cop like that. It's like
Stop at the sprint trip.
yeah. And he's like, and 4 wins the race, and he's like stopping, and he goes,
Oh
and then
shit, we've got to go again. Now we're carrying on.
and he goes, and now it's 5, 4, 3. Classic, yeah, absolutely.
Oh Jesus! How's the one not gone round there, by the way? It's level.
The one turn right.
Oh, it's eased off before the corner and just gone. Jesus Christ! Are you not coming down for the third round, Bomber?
No, I booked the final today, so I'm in the flight's done. Everything. We're going on the Friday as well. Like,
I've tried to get David B to come down.
oh, sure, he's not going to come down now.
He's going to Dub instead, isn't he? So.
Oh yeah. But even like, yeah, it's just like lads are going on the Friday, so I'm flying Friday morning, and then we're also going to the beer Friday night, and then
We're going Friday.
We're going Friday, yeah. Now the lads are going to some cricket match. So I know nothing about.
Oh
cricket.
Yeah, shit, yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, I know nothing
Eddie
about
said
cricket.
to me about travelling on the Saturday, and I was like, yeah, there's no point being in Northampton, but
I do think
they've said they're going to cricket.
There's some like maiden comp or something. Some maiden comp or something toast Friday night, I think, to start.
Yeah. That's
Northants v Yorkshire in the 2020.
That's it. We're all Northants. No one likes Yorkshire.
It's a good night out, the old 2020.
It is. It's just getting pissed, isn't it? Really, it's like
yeah, it is.
Yeah, come here. I'm just going to drink. Like I know nothing about cricket, like so the lads can.
You don't need to for 2020.
That's it. Just make it better at the start of the match, and that's it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy watching it lose.
Yeah, I think there is some comp or something on Toaster Friday night. I think there's some big maiden comp. I know a really good bitch is going for, with the things they said.
It is a bit of a joke that our UK maiden comps you can allow full open class Irish dog into it.
Yeah, that is like even like what was it? Stories Pee Wee was the one people were going mad about. Like that was a bit of a joke. Now, to be fair, like at least the rule was last year that if you've never won an AAO race, you can run that. Now, that's fair enough. Like that is fair enough. Even though like regular AOs are hot, right? But to be fair to Matt, the wide open bitch, like she'd won an A2. She never ran an open class race. But Stories Pee Wee was winning 575s and 600s in Shelburne and 550s. Like, and I think he won around that champion puppy 550 last year. Like, so he shouldn't have been out in it. To be honest with you, he shouldn't have been out in it. But you need that kind of profile. Like, but even like then the loophole as well is like could have any Hoffa wins the round of the most prestigious unraced stake in Tralee, like in the fastest time, and he could run it. Like, so you need to draw the line somewhere. Like the Torn Falcon won as well, and he won the first round. Van Scott, he was bought out of it.
If you had a dog like that, you'd probably just be tempted to send it over, wouldn't you? Try and pick up the prize, like.
Send like if you had the dog, send him over to an English trainer, like.
Yeah, just send him over.
You know yourself. I know what you're saying. Like, some people do that as well. Like, but I think the Irish, especially, like, I love it myself to have a dog to go over with. Like you don't need to have the Ballinabulla Ed to go over to the English Derby. Like,
no, you don't. No, of course
you don't. But you want to go over some. If you have a dog that can win, my head. If you give a dog like a promising pup who can win rounds at the Juvenile Classic or the Kirby or something, you have a grade of a dog. You have a grade of a dog, and if you get the right heat in the Derby, like you said, there's just grades better what runs in the UK. Like lads don't realise how hot the Kirby grade is or the Juvenile Classic grade. They're the best pups in the country in Ireland that are going to be.
It's one of my favourite events.
Oh, like this, and they're going to be the best dogs. Like you can't understand. I was saying earlier about like the grade in Ireland, like the depth, and that's why they go over the first round. Like even dogs like Cape Cloud was an example. He's a good Saturday night dog, but he's so far from being a Derby class dog. Like,
Eddie was saying that. He was like Eddie and Dylan saying that. He's like they'd say he's like an A1 dog, and that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a proper Saturday night 5-5 dog. But there's a big difference between a 5-5 dog and the 550.
I'd have said he's more of an AO dog, like type of.
Yeah, but he suits the 5-5 in Shelburne because he's good to boxes. Like I personally hate 5-5 race in Shelburne. It's a bookie's trip. Like. It's just a lottery. Like if you're not in the right bingo boxes, like the same as if you're not like the one box, so biased. But it's so biased. Like anything can bet in a 5-5. That's why for me, Susie Sapphire and not having to go Toaster, because like he says, if you get to the middle boxes in the 5-5 in Shelburne and you don't come out of the box and something pings beside you, you're a bet. Like you're gone. Like, it doesn't matter what you are. Like the Night Stars 5-5 race is just a nightmare. Like, because you've all the best early paced 5-5 dogs in one race, and like most years they're 5 raiders, and you just want to close your eyes the first bend. You're like, oh, it's a nightmare. Like,
anyone played here, by the way?
Was it?
Anyone played here?
No, I haven't. If Magical Oscar wasn't in the race, I'd be backing not to see Gem. But
yeah, I think the track's going to suit it, isn't it? Like I say, that sign at Ace Race didn't look quick, did it really? But it was.
Buzz just shows you the clock there. Yeah. But it's hard to think that Antigua Colours could come from that far behind. Like, you know.
Yeah, it can't.
Like,
I wouldn't believe the clock, if anything. Just trap Gem. Go on, Gem. Go around, you cunt. And don't drop in a hole.
Not going to see Gem goes on from Magical Oscar. Romeo Trooper back in third, but as I approach the third bend, not going to see Gem pulls further clear. 2-3 lengths back to Magical Oscar, who's starting to close around the fourth bend, comes within half a length. Oh, one on the inside. Romeo Trooper gets up. 4 turns its head to Magical Oscar. Oh, dear. Naughty, naughty.
You just collapse in the hole.
Yep.
Like, for me, like, it's like you don't you don't have to be strong in Toaster to get home, but you still need to get 480 though. Do you know what I mean? Like, in terms of that, like, it's like you need. Well, I would say you need to be at least a 5-5 dog. I think
it's such a weird track. You can't translate it to anywhere else or any other distance.
It's kind of like sprint racing, but you still need to stay.
Yeah, it's like
kind of like a Nottingham 305 type of trip where you can be a big.
I mean, how the fuck has one picked up 2 off the final bend? That's impossible.
He's cramped. He's like, look at him. He's gone. Like, he's a real sprint. Like, hold on, look. The way I would say about that end of it, about the staying, and like, I think what I would say, we'd say over here, like, you have a fight.
Look at 4.
You can get a lot of 5-5 dogs that don't stay to 550 and Shelburne, they just collapse. I think those type of dogs can get away with it in Toaster. Like, if you know, the early pace types that can get 480. I think you can freewheel there, but like, you still have to, like you said, he's a sprinter.
So hard to pass though, isn't it? That's the problem. It's just impossible.
Oh, it's so hard to pass from behind. Honestly, that's how
because you'll get dragged into the rail. Like at the sort of 3/4 point, everything's being dragged inside. So like, even
and if you move,
the 4 is struggling to get past the 2.
If you move wide, you start to give away ground as well. Like, you know what I mean, you seem to get punished as well coming from the outside in it.
Yeah, you do.
It's hard to work out the home straight. But I do think if you have something like that, I think like you can see like types like the Skywalker Barrys and that. Like Skywalker Barry has never ran well in the 515 Shelburne. And over here, like, he's a dog that suits the Corks, the Waterfords, the tight tracks. He's out and gone, and he does his thing. They suit Toaster, and they're still the top class dogs. But over here, like, they're not going to win the Derby, like. But over in Toaster, they can just out and gone freewheel home job, like.
Yeah, that place is it's an enigma in it, really. It's just like one of them. Like you say, it's probably like a.
But you even said like the Thomas is one time only. Like, he's ridiculous early pace. Like.
Perfect for this place. I can't believe he didn't come. I can't believe he didn't come.
Especially like as well, like the Michael's got like his uncle's going over. Like, I wouldn't say it'd be too much of an issue for them to go together. Like,
I know.
Or send the dog with them.
Or just I'm going to say send the dog to him. It'd have been perfect. But he said, I think the big reason he didn't come over, he said the dog wouldn't like the travelling.
Well, that's true as well. Yeah.
But like, I'm not being funny. The dogs.
He has a lot of dogs though, Thomas. Like, I'm like, like he's probably like he said,
that, yeah.
He's a lot of kennel. Like, I know from a fact from the course in front of it. Like, a lot that alone, he could have 20 something for a season. Like at the start of the season, maybe even more than that. Like,
yeah, he'd have a lot of pups as well. Like, because he's always got pups off Ravina, Miss Minnie Marvel.
Yeah, he brought over that Aussie breed, and I tell you, there's one thing: it can breed savage pace, but geez, it can breed some quirks as well. Like you see, I've seen that. Like even like
sort of
Price's Jet, Pierno, do you know, like
Pierno. Pierno. I've got Pierno's brother, and I swear to God, he is exactly the same as Pierno. He's not as called Lockdown, yeah. And he goes to the front first bend, and if there's a dog on his inside, fuck off. Doesn't want to know. But when there's nothing there, he's fast.
The dog you had was out of that, was he not? Was he not that breed as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember even saying to Dylan that time, he was the most genuine in the litter, like. Do you know what I mean? The rest were like.
And he followed his quirks, though. He got distracted at Monmouth one night where he did 20.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah,
and
he still won. Yeah, you know.
There's just
even I remember the mother, like Ravenna. She was an absolute machine, but she was quirky. I miss Minnie Marvel. Like the pace she had, she could never trap the pace she had into the bend. But like the trait was with them, they had diabolical win records. Like
I just think they're a bit poncy as well, aren't they? When they don't they don't want to know.
They're a bit soft, like, and you can see their win records. I'm telling you, you just look back at their win records; they're diabolical. Like, they're fast. It breeds the pace, but they just don't win races. But what I think can happen is when they start breeding to the Irish and UK, like stud dogs from over here.
Yeah.
The daughters can continue on, and that's the one you want. Like,
well, I had Magnify, who was the sister to Prince and Priceless Jet and that. And she died in the field. But she was like, she should have been DQ'd at Doncaster. Like, no doubts about it. She was just fucking like having a
they're the first generation of so Ravenna was pure Aussie bred, and then their Droopy's Jet, whatever, by out of Ravenna. So I'm saying the daughters of Ravenna to an Irish dog, that's where that's where you could breed maybe the complete Greyhound. And that's what the theories they have behind it as well. Like, the further you go.
By the way. That is a proper freeze.
What's it?
Bomber's frozen there, aren't he? That is a proper shot. We need that. We need a screenshot of that.
You can get it back in the video.
It's like a Kevin Keegan on Down syndrome, just like. I'd love it if we beat them.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, he's back. He's back on the bike now. He's all right. It's so good. No, I know what you mean, though. I'd like to tap into... Oh, okay. You fancy the 4 here, Tom?
I don't want to do a PL, but can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
Unfortunately, yes.
Thanks very much, Craig. Thanks.
This is someone's dog in it here from... That's going to move... They're all fucking railers. Up at the bottom of place. Where's gonna go? Back on the bike again.
I'm not going again, am I?
No, you're back now, but you've no picture.
So you're better off not looking at me.
Yeah, true story. How's the bottom such a big price to place here, by the way? Like 5 rails and a wide. And the wide can run a bit as well. No, I'm having my internet here. Tom, can you hear me? One sec. I've lost your sound here, Tom.
Yeah, I can't hear Tom either.
I was on mute.
There we go. That's why you're the technical genius of the lot of us.
It's been a long week.
Sticks the course in Bomber Lad. Tries to be more Clonmel.
Who says this?
Ethan Maloney.
He's dead right, to be honest with you.
Have you just bought a little pup anyway?
Yeah, we've forgotten another pup there, so we only keep 1 or 2, but yeah, he's out of the Brew Bitch of the Year last year for the course, and so touch of class. So yeah, delighted to get him. Like, so.
What would you give for a coursing dog?
It's mental. Like, it's a game with absolutely no prize money, but if you want the top breed, then you have to pay. Like,
What would it cost me if I turned around and said, like, go and find me a course in...
See, the thing about the course and the thing is, you can't really buy trial stick winners after they win. You only like a few will sell. To get a pup, like we had a dog there, Badminton Dasher, and he was out of on the Romford Royal here.
No, it's gone again. What do you reckon PL's doing here, by the way?
What's
Do
that?
you reckon he's copped out here, PL, and just put the rose petals on the bed? and a bad night of passion.
Maybe.
With Watchalong in the background.
Oh, and 4 has got out. Fuck off 6. And we're away.
Oh,
and young Burke turns the first corner just in front. The 6 showing a lot of pace on the outside.
Wankers.
But 4 holding a good line. 5 has just spoilt the chance for 6. Very, very slightly there, but has shown a decent bit of pace around the 5th bend. But 4 is 2-3 lengths in front of 5 Ronnie Egg as they run for the line. Young Burke comes down the lane to score from 5 Ronnie Egg and 1 Lulu You Go. Getting into this on my patchy stream. The nap lands. Wish I'd had more on, been a bit more chasey, but
bit more chasey.
I'm gambling with 50% PL's money, so I feel I can't go too aggressive. I would have gone all in.
You go more aggressive with PLs.
Yeah. Should have been. But yeah, the nap lands. Terrific.
What have we got next at Toaster? A graded steak.
Sure, look. Keep going, lads.
That's all we can do. Connor.
Yeah, so Craig, if you want to get into the course and
not really, but
well, you're in with Thomas. I'm telling you, Thomas starts off with 20 to course and dogs a year, I think. Do you know?
Is it?
I go to the coursing most years, and I love it.
It's great.
It's the purest form of this sport there is. I wouldn't start at Clonmel if you're going to start on coursing. I'd go to like Johnstown and Erlingfield or something like that.
You've been to Johnstown?
I have. Yeah. And it's just class. It's absolute class.
It's fantastic.
I'd start somewhere like that and then work your way up to Clonmel.
I can confirm, by the way, that PL is listening.
Is he?
Yeah. He's not put the rose petals on the bed.
I hope that's not photograph based.
No, he sent me a picture and he's gone, nah, nothing on the bed.
What's he sent you a photo of? The bed without rose petals?
Pretty much.
Glad we've clarified.
That was before, though.
So I did most of the card this week from a motorway service station between meetings, and made me think, Tricky, what's your favourite motorway service station?
Considering I don't drive,
he only drives people mad.
Yeah, that's it. I would say, what's the one near Wolverhampton?
What road would that be on? You won't know you don't drive, do you? Is it Corley?
It's got like a really big grass verge where you can empty dogs. They've got a Greggs, they've got a Burger King, and a WH Smith.
Hilton Park?
In the land.
Is it a moto?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah, that'd be Hilton Park. Not my favourite. Not even in my top 10. But each to their own. Big fan of rugby these days. That's my go-to.
The one up by the lakes is good, isn't it? As well, like it's nice.
Which one?
The one with the up near Kendal and that. The one with the lake.
They've all got a lake because they all process their own sewage because they're too far away to send it to a plant. So they process it there and have a lake to discharge it into once it's been cleaned. How do I know that? Because I was pondering it one day and tweeted several motorway service station brands, including Motown Welcome Break, to understand where they discharge their sewage to, and that was the answer.
You're just pondering where you got rid of the sewage.
Yeah.
You've got that's some life you've got.
Just curious mind. Just a curious mind.
Fair fucks to you.
But yeah, and it's not been successful today, so probably not a lucky one. But I do recommend Rugby Services for doing a dog card. Strong Wi-Fi. You've got a little wireless charging station next to you and a little plug. We've also got a KFC, which for me is a minimum requirement. For
Yeah, KFC is always a bonus.
Yeah. For me, if it's not got a KFC, I just simply won't stop there.
Oh, really?
No. I might not even have a KFC, but it just sets a level of standard for me in motorway service stations.
Even if you're like not hungry, you're like, yeah, no, there's no KFC. I'll just go to the next one.
I might want a sandwich. I might want to go to the Waitrose.
I need a pizza or shit, and he still won't.
Yeah, yeah. I'll hold on. I'll just hold on to a place that's got a KFC. Anyone in the comments want to let us know their favourite motorway service station? I feel this isn't a chat that will just last tonight. We may continue this into tomorrow because it's a big, important discussion. Now, for me, any of the ones around the M25, absolute non-runners, absolute Beaconsfield, South Mims, all the absolute pits. Not stopping at any of those. Anyway, we move on. The 904 at Toaster. You never run your Tom, absolutely.
I'm going to make a bit of a case for the red. At the prices.
Make the case. Make the case, Tricky. It's a big price.
It is a big price, and I just think there's not a lot of pace in 2, and I just think the 2 is more of a 2.5. I think 3's got a bit of pace. The 4 probably has none. I mean, it was in a week eight of the Derby, and all of a sudden it's 2-1 in this. And you're like, the bottom's won an A8 the last day.
Yeah.
The 5 hasn't gone as fast as the top round Henlow, and has been running A3.
Mm-hmm.
I just think like the 27.79 at Henlow would be decent enough. The 29.77 would be good enough, and it's got a non-starter outside it as well. It's got a nice little draw, and I don't necessarily think the 4 will lead here.
Okay.
I think they won't get a pitch on the inside. I think
we should back the 1.
I do, honestly. I think it's big enough. You never stop learning with Tom. Very good point. That'll be my fact now. If I ever go like anywhere and there's a chat up line, it'll be, did you know? Why there's lakes on these services? That's where they put their sewers. Yes.
It's once a sewage has been cleaned, it goes into the lake. But yeah, it's not just a floating pool of shit outside.
That's a shame.
Or you munch on your KFC as a turd floats by.
It'd be one of them places that I'd like to drown if I'd done it in a toaster.
Now, Dave Branch enjoyed a few KFCs at Peterborough Services. Now, I know Peterborough Services very, very well because it's equidistant for me between Cambridge and the Midlands. Yeah, it's good KFC there. They also do a very good full English breakfast. You can go for an 11-item breakfast. Doesn't cost much more than a 7-item breakfast, and it is a tremendous amount of food.
If anybody's watching, by the way, can you do us a favour? Can you make a list of your top 10 services in the UK? That would be. And what we're going to do is going to do a leaderboard later on the points-based services, and there's going to be a free draw to win a £10 free bet with Betfred. That's what it's going to be.
Betfred and welcome break.
Yeah. And you can get an extra sausage on your breakfast next time you're at a motel.
Finally signed up for a Greg's loyalty card this week, but once I get in the Greg's, I don't have enough signal to bring it up on my phone, so I have to either prepare it before I enter the Greg's or go without 1 in 10 free bacon rolls.
Real life issues. The kids in Kenya don't know they've got it right.
The struggle is real.
Walking 6 miles for water, or can't get a single get a free bacon roll. Fuck's sake. You need to be emailing like points of viewing like the BBC.
They only cost £1.85 as well. And I've got to go through that struggle 10 times to get one for free. It's like 18.5 pence per struggle.
It's worth it. And here we go. Flags on the wave, is it? No? Is he going to bother?
Flags on the wave.
Oh, he's debating, isn't he? Flags waved. Bunny on the spin here at Toaster for the A2 stakes. Westmead Melon 1.
Oh, it's got out well. No, 5's beaten that.
And the 1 is away, and 1's going to go around in front here, I think, but 5's pacing up instead. And the 1 is going to turn third, fourth. The 5's gone round from 4 and 3, 1 in fourth. 5's gone 3 lengths clear, too far clear. We've all lost. It doesn't matter. We don't care about the 5. Boo. Who are you? Who are you? 5.
There's some lad there roaring his dog home, the 5 lad, and Greg's there. Like, we don't
care.
It don't matter. But well done to the 5 anyway. 5 beats 4 and 6 in third. Outside bias at Toaster. Boo.
4.19 section on the card. Had every chance of leading.
Remember there was one time, it was last year when it was like 14, 15 heats and a trap 6 hadn't won. And like there's people going like, there'll never be a trap 6 winner from Toaster in the Derby. And then I think Torn Falcon won from 6 that year then.
Everyone's like...
But you said the big thing with that is there's not a lot of wide seeds, and then like just because they're wide seeds, you also have to be good dogs as well. Like,
yeah.
You know,
like about... Reds, isn't it? Everyone has a big thing about the Reds, but how many Reds are like? Look at Deadly Showtime moving off from Red.
One is a coffin box.
Wide open, moving off from Red.
Yeah, one is a coffin box. But I have noticed a lot of dogs are like a lot of dogs that normally don't and over here that don't move like wide. They're like Sing Along Sally moved completely outwards last week to her right, like, and like every race she's ever ran in Ireland, she heads dead rails. Like you think it was like Dear Jet Sydney 2.0. Like, you know, I couldn't believe when she went out to about trap 5 last week. Seems to be whatever.
They're moving in from 4, but they might just want the 2, or they might want the 2.5.
I don't know. It was like the position of the hair or something, or where the box is open. I don't know. It's funny, like.
I can't believe the Red's not gone round there, by the way. Well, I'd have got round the bend at that position. Your
commentary wasn't biased at all, anyway.
No, not at all. No, that's why I'd be very good on the comms. If I've had a bet for it, that's it.
You do Ian's story of the oi-ois if you were on back in the one.
Give it some of that.
Did you ever have that? Did you ever have that moment of the oi and then the next thing it just goes tits up like?
Yeah, I went to Romford one night. I had a dog in with Brian Thompson called Avantra Vita. No, Avanta El Greco. Sorry, not Avantra Vita was the Wallace dog.
Yeah, that's what I say. Did you have that? Did you all hurt? Like?
No, Avantra El Greco. We got it off Wallace, and we've gone to Romford one night, and we've trialled it round Bellevue. We thought it stayed and all this bollocks. And he's gone round. There's 5 in front. I was stood there in the middle of the ring on my own, by the way. Like I'd gone from Preston to go and watch it. I'm like, aye. Just can't get beat in a million years. It's been passed at the 5th. The 3's took over. The roars have just gone up around me, and I'm like, oh fuck. And the 4's come and chinned them all, and I'm like, aye. Like, fuck off, we all get beat. I've like stormed up the steps, and I'm like kicking stuff. I'm like, you bastards. There was no worse feeling than like watching him sink in the hole, and I'm like, please just keep kicking. Please keep kicking. And he didn't. It was like, we clocked him doing something ridiculous to like, the trip. And we thought he stayed, and yeah, he didn't. we were very wrong.
Like if I was parading, when I'm parading dogs, I'd never do the oi. You could just stay quiet. Like I'd never do that. Like now at the same time, even like I'd be too nervous probably to do it. Like I get fairly like, well, when you're expecting a big run, like you're like, here we go. You get fairly windy. But it was the night we went to Romford, for the doggy Christmas too. Like, and Babin O'Donnell, and he was left in the front at the second bend, and me and Adrian were going, oh, we were like basically jumping up and down, and like I had a treble up with him the last leg, and then even though he was a rogue, the Droopy's carrot then came from the fucking clouds and chinned him in a photo finish, and like I was going, for fuck's sake, like, and especially the dog that I had like connections to, he got chinned as well, like, so
Well,
yeah,
I had, like literally the first round, that second round of the derby, I'd had 62 and a half quid on print or something like 50s or something, you know, something ridiculous. So like 2 and 3 grand or something. And I'm in the middle. When he's pinged, I've just gone, fucking arms have gone up and everything. I'm like, well, he's qualified. That's all I'm thinking.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, he's qualified. I don't give a shit about anything else. And like, I'm coming off, and like Kevin Ennis gone, you've just roared in the entire way around. He's like, Beach Avenue's like 4 behind you at the and I'm like, I said, I didn't give a shit. I went, I knew I'm qualified. I'm like, I didn't care. And he's
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
oh,
yeah.
right. So it's like not about the win. I was like, no, I was like, I said, I knew he won like coming up the home straight. I said, but I said, I didn't care. I said, like, Galara Lane wasn't passing him.
No, jeez.
Oh, it was really something like just to shout him the entire way around. Everyone's thinking, like,
But even to have a dog to win around the derby as well, like, do you know?
it was amazing. Like, I mean, he's coming
That's
home in a couple of weeks, so he's having a ball out on Monday. He's got a ball stuck in his groin.
He's a what?
Oh no!
A ball in his groin. Honestly, he's had it all his career.
Really?
Yeah, he's not troubled him or anything, but he's having it out on Monday, so it'll be probably like 3 weeks and he'll be home. Like, so no doubt I'll do me fucking head in. Because he's like the nicest dog in the world in the kennel, and when them type of dogs, they just come home and they're cunts. But I have to put up with him because I can't not do, can I? It's impossible. How could I ever shout at him?
Yeah, he's like, I won you around the derby, you fucker, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's all he's going to look at me and do, and just go like, "What have you done, you fat bastard?" Do you know what I mean? That's what he's going to look at me and do. Oh, this Sonic MJ used to be Fingy's dog, Stu's dog.
Yeah, so on the earlys, Sonic MJ was my pick in this race, but with the one missing, I think Lila's Boy, despite being a length slower, it's just the only railer in the race with no one. Got a lovely box, just commands the rail, turns left, turns handy, wins. TJ slip away will lose if I back it and win if I don't. So probably could sweep round on the outside. Sonic MJ obviously is a decent sort, but draws win races, and I think Lila's Boy has a very, very nice draw here.
Has Mullins got this now, the MJ dog?
Yeah, John Mullins, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Stu was like frustrated with it because it was one of them dogs that he had so much pace and it was just like never trapping and never winning these races. He was like sort of second, third, showing all kinds of pace. Yeah, that's him.
This is a mental trip, this 13-second sprint. Like, absolute lunacy. Like,
that's what it's all about.
Absolute.
That's what this game's all about at this time of the night.
Like, Jesus, like.
The proper sprint.
Wave of the flag.
Come on, MJ.
And my stream's gone down. 2, Lila's Boy gets a lovely pitch on the rail with Wee Rebel just inside of it in second. Sonic MJ threatening 2 as they go around the bend. 2 forces it wide and is home to score. Lila's Boy wins from Sonic MJ.
Free trap was a big thing there from them.
It was. Draws win races.
Yeah, he always is very fast, but his Achilles heel is he's just that first few yards. And like he got the space there to move on the rail.
Yeah.
He's having some. He has like Nathan Hunt. He's having some running the opens at the moment. Like, do you know what I mean?
We've got our dog with Nathan Hunt. He's class. He's absolutely.
Oh
class.
yeah, I've met him a few times. Like he's just dead on. Like
he's got a big kennel as well. I think being a young man, lots of energy. There's lots to be said for that.
But to be fair to him as well, he's not getting the firepower like that the bigger kennels are getting. Like, do you know what I mean?
He's getting more of it. He's getting more big name owners going over to him.
Rob
Just
buys
with
some
his
nice dogs, doesn't he? In that,
decent
there's
stock
some
rate.
dogs.
No, but in terms of like you said, like he wouldn't
He's
have
not getting
near
the 20 and 30,000 pound dogs. He's getting
Just
the
saying, he's not
6 and
getting what
8,000 pound dogs. Yeah.
he's not getting what the Wallaces or the Kevin Huttons
No,
or the Pat
no, he's
Jansons are
not.
getting.
No.
But what he's getting, he's doing. Like, he's winning and he's beating. You says dogs that are costing more money than he has. Like, so he's on track to do 100 Open winners this year, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing well. It's just that thing, and it's just turning them into competition wins, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're the big things about it. But you just need that one owner, and you kind of like you say, who's going to go and buy you a £30,000 dog, the right one as well.
That's the saying. Like, you need to. It's about buying. I always think like some of the dogs you hear, they hear what they're bought for. Like, and you're going like, if you have that money, you could buy better value than that. Like than some of the dogs that are spent. Like, do you know what I mean?
For me,
I
I
do
think
think.
like three £10,000 dogs that I thought were a little bit undervalued, but rather than a £30,000 dog that I think is maybe worth 18 or 19. Like
Because,
the
like,
Greyhound dog, when he was up priced, I thought I think he's a crazy price at 30 and 40 grand what they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come here, like it's just. But you said just the money, like the money power some of the big kennels have to buy. Like the only people over here that can compete with them is the breeders who breed their own.
Yeah,
and even
they know what they've got to a certain extent.
Yeah. And even at that, they're breeding to find that one to sell as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so you rarely get people
like the fluid man, aren't they? Like the bubbly man, and just going, "How much can you give us for this?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice you've got people like that about to pay the big money for the dog. So,
but you need that. Of course, you need that. 100%. Yeah, that has to be because like people breed dogs as well to make money. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you said, they're love of the game as well, but at the same time, you still have to pay for the operation. Like. And
yeah, you do. I had someone message us on the Greyhound Watchalong Twitter in the week, and they were thinking about buying a dog, paying 5-6 grand for it, and they sent me the details of it, and it was a sprinting type from a track where I wouldn't particularly trust the sprinters to do very well when they came over to these shores, and I just said to him, don't buy that dog. Do not buy that dog. It's not going to improve anything. It's going to go backwards, if anything. If you're going to be spending 5-6 grand, go to a breeder like Sean Conway, who will get you at least a minor open class dog for that, and will do you right. I think it's really difficult when you get into the game because there is no yardstick for what a dog costs and what a dog should cost. You kind of work it out by you've got to waste a bit of money before you realise what the true price of a dog is. I think if you're going to Ireland, you're going to a big name trainer saying, "Can I buy this dog off you? Take the UK." You're going to spend an absolute fortune. The dog's going to be at the absolute top of what it's going to achieve over there because they just get the absolute best of everything. It's going to come over here, and it might win a couple of races at first, but there's only one way that dog's going to go, and that's going to be backwards. So
the other problem I have with that as well is like when you go to the bigger kennels to spend money, like if you say like I want the £5,000 or £6,000 dog, you have to accept like they're only going to sell you something that has a ceiling of this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The biggest thing I think people do, if your budget is the £5,000 or £6,000 is spend 5 or 6 grand, what you should be doing is if you just want a level of dog, if you go to the sales and you buy top of the sales but you have to have an opinion as well. Don't just blindly buy them. You can buy dogs in the sales for value what they are. If you look hard enough, right? Even like there last week.
Doncaster literally went for £300. Never sold the bunny. Got beat 25 lengths off the top lot. Showed a bit of pace into the corner against it and got beat 25 lengths. And you go, well, it's probably never. It's all this in the bunny all the way round. The boy, I think Bosner will be watching this. He's paid 350 quid for it or something. I don't know. And it's done 1730 Doncaster. The dog now, if you was to sell it, you get £1,300-1,400 for it.
That's what I'm saying. But like, there has been now an inflation on price of dogs as well. Like probably because you said it's the shortage of them and that. Like, but the problem, like you said, there's not much difference in value now between I've seen in Ireland. Like you said, you can get now 1,500 quid for any type of dog now because they want it for the bags. You said it's just like you said, lads are getting paid whatever 50, 60, 70 pound a runner now for bags meetings. Like,
well, I gave £2.5 grand for that Galvarino dog, and I thought, if there's something in it, if I got it, if it was to come back for his Irish form, then for me he's worth 7,000 or 8,000. to sell him as he was, he's worth 2,500, which is fine.
Yeah.
And like, I'm thinking, well, if we can get that little bit out of him, you know, there's a bit of fun to be had. And if not, then the worst case, he'll win handicaps round Brough.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm telling you, in the sales, like, there is a window there to buy dogs if you look hard enough and wait. Like, you don't. This is the thing. When you go to sales or watch them, you don't have to buy every time it's on. You want to see the right dog.
People go with money in the pocket and they want to spend it.
Like, I've seen examples of dogs bought in the sales, like in the after time. But like, I've seen them there. Like, that's what me and my dad did for ages. Like, not me, but my dad and my granddad, they bought dogs out of the sales for cheap money that they thought might have an injury. Maybe he's a fella you think you can improve him from. And like, I think my dad bought 4 dogs that open class runs in Ireland in sales. I think the most he spent was 1,500 quid. Like they are there. Like I remember once he bought a dog for 700 quid in the Longford sales in like 2013. He was bet a distance in a sales trial, and 6 weeks later he was win 28-40. He was probably the best run show for a month. He was doing 28-40. He bet Ball Sports Hero, the Produce Stakes and Kirby winner in a race. Like, it just shows like you can get them if you look hard enough. Like Ballyann Sim was in the sales, won the Derby.
Really, he was in the sales.
Yeah, he didn't make 4,000. Spot in the car park.
Is that the same one as Good News that was turned down €43,000?
No, that was Shelburne Park sales, but he was never for sale. Like, you know, they only put him in that.
He wanted 150. They wanted.
Yeah, but they only put him in because there was an unraised stake for the dogs that were in the sales. So it was basically an entry, and like they weren't selling them. And he actually got bet. It was a 10 grand unraised stake, and for dogs that ran the sales, and she was different grade. She got bet in the final.
I've had a little dabble on this 3 at a very big price. It's no worse than any other dog in this race. It's got the ping box, and yeah, it tends to run quite well from trap 3. I don't see anything significantly better than it. So at the price, I'm willing to have a little interest on it. That's about it, really.
I thought this 4 was all right. Yeah, I thought it can run. Lee Fields dog.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, I thought it could run a bit. But...
Stream's gone down, so I don't know how far behind we'll be. 3 is not trapped out. 4 certainly has. Alabama Kid for Lee Fields leads into the first bend, followed by Drumcrow Ember. But 4 turns very, very handy. Back to 2, Paint Rush, 4 wins. Alabama Kid, Paint Rush, number 2.
I hope you're on, Craig.
Yeah, I've had a small bet.
You should have got the watch-along budget on it there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the shout. Just have a chase up with PLs.
PL's cash. We're back to a respectable level of loss after the Derby heats tonight. There's been some weird results.
The thing is, though, if PL would have tuned in the balance would have been on Ballinaboo Lord. It can't not.
True that, yeah. True that.
No, he wasn't back in Ed.
Was he not?
No, he was not back in Ed.
Oof.
He was on the Ballymac dog.
I can see why though, but for me, I just thought he was.
I just thought, like, look, the difference in class a few weeks ago between Ballymac Leon and Ballinaboo is like it was day and night. Like, do you know what I mean? And to be fair, look, Ballymac he did the run, and yeah, his breed and all that suggests. But at the same time, it's hard to turn it around. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, like I haven't seen now a performance like that in a derby for a long, long time. Like that was like.
It was exciting, man.
Yeah, like that's the dog now. Like he says, you want to just go see him run now. You know,
I said to Chris last week, and I said, me and Chris were speaking last week, and I said, like, for me, if you could guarantee him to trap, like within half a length every week, you'd want to be on him for fortunes, wouldn't you, to win the derby?
Yeah,
at like 8-10 to 1. But you can't guarantee that out of him. So for me, I still think he's got that air of vulnerability, which makes him probably more exciting.
Like, how good is he going to be over 550 Shelburne? Like,
with the longer run to the corner, Jesus.
With the run to the corner,
like Hoggill Blake, you know when he missed the kick in the final?
That's why I was saying. That's why I was saying to Tom. Yeah. Tom was saying that to me, like about you like a dog that just has that doesn't need a trap, has the pace. Hoggill Blake was a terrible trapper. He rarely ever trapped. But Jesus, he was into the bend, like he was just a different grade, like, you know. And that's why he's that.
Was another one, wasn't he? He could get it wrong at the cans and just roar to the corner.
What dog?
Newman Taylor.
Newman Taylor was literally the exact same. The only difference between Pastan and Newman Taylor was Pastana could trap and Newman Taylor couldn't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But New and Taylor had more natural early pace than Pastana.
Yeah, he
Do you
did.
know what I mean? Because like, but Pastana had perfected the bullet break, as you said. Like, but look, New and Taylor just. As you said, you're talking about great dogs. How could you not pick New and Taylor? He won 12 in a row. He won the Produce Stakes. He won the Derby. Do you know, like he won the Comer for Cakes at the Puppy Stake at the Christmas year before.
Right. His sister just had some pups. Destiny's Child to Droopy Sydney.
The sister of Taylor, is it?
Yeah.
I remember me and Dylan saw him trial. We were before racing Shelburne, but when he was a pup, he was unraced. And he trialed with New in Session, and he bet New in Session like 7 lengths. And like he did 1850 when 1850 was like, you know, obviously it's ridiculous now, the track. I can't explain Shelburne Park times now. Don't even talk to me, right? But it wasn't even that. It was what he did from the split. He only did like 6:10 to the corner, which is like, yeah, it's good. It's not amazing. It's decent. Like, and like what he was doing up the home straight was a freak. Like, he just knew this dog is just something special. Like, and then, but to get those big win records, you have to have early pace, like, because you just do the same thing every week, like, you know.
Yeah, because that's it. He's just a freak, isn't he? He was so good. Like, I mean, like you say, in the produce and that, you know, when Session and him were there, they were talking like who's the better of the two, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, like he was. New in Session was definitely probably doing faster overall clocks, but at the same time, New and Taylor was all about the turbine clock. Like, I think New and Taylor still is the fastest turbine clock in the turbine, like in the 550 in Shelburne. Like he clocked quicker than Pastana to Turbend in the Derby. Like, do you know,
it was unreal. I thought he was beating that final, by the way. I'd had a saver on Mean and Miracle of like 66 or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. She had her kinks as well. Like, you know, she was a bit of a dodge as well. Like,
well, she refused, didn't she? Completely refused.
But all wasn't 100% with New and Taylor towards the later stage in the Derby, and that was well known. Like, you know, I think he tonsillitis or something problem. Then I think they got the whipped out or something in between the quarters and the semi.
So gone and won.
And have you had a look at this race?
I'll have a look now. Try and have a piece.
So I wanted to get RKD, and I thought that the 2 was the most obvious one to do so with. 375, 376 sectionals, no dog inside it, so it's going to come on the inside. I mean, it's a 24.35, 24.42 dog, and obviously Arcadie's done the 23.97. There's not a tremendous amount of early pace in the race, but I wouldn't really want to be backing anything, particularly at 1.63 around Romford.
Yeah, I don't like the Yarmouth dog there's done like low 28s. The Swift Quaff for Burr, like the 24.71, you normally find 30 spots, don't you, for a run around Romford easily. But I mean, it's been running at a lower level.
Yeah, I was kind of relying on 4 to hold up the 5 to give 2 the clear run.
Yeah, it's these maidens round here are poor, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sure.
The other interest is this in the place market.
The 6 as well here, like the 6 in the place market, like could be.
Do you think it's got slower Romford in the last year or so? Like, I remember when the track first changed, you saw a lot of 23.
You don't see them anymore.
You don't see them anymore. Like, you rarely see a dog break 24 seconds. That's why he's the price he is now. Like, to be fair to him, like I remember like the time I was going, even you go like Roxholm Nidge's clock, even though it's a different track, will probably be broken because it's quicker now. But now you're kind of saying, like you said, like you rarely ever see 23.80s or anything anymore. Like,
if you see 24, you've got a proper dog, haven't you?
Like, what does Antigua Sox do when he wins now? Like
24 dead, yeah,
something like that. And maybe a decent dog, like 24.19 tonight.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it definitely has slowing up. And I've seen good dogs, like even like Bubbly Apache, you said, who can do space. I remember like looking at his car going like I was going 24.05 is what he's doing in a solo run Romford. Like,
Richie was another one, wasn't he? Just prime example.
Right, we're going in. Looks busy there. A guy's wearing his baseball cap back to front. There's a GoPro strapped to it. What an absolute virgin. And that's frozen my stream.
Oh, he's well in front now.
Oh, yeah, 5's gone.
5's pistol.
5's gone.
He's 3's
Penny
well
was
behind.
not boss insides, I hoped. 3 going round in behind. Penny's Touran, but Arcady looks home and hosed for all money. Pinewood Sid showing a little bit of pace, but cannot get past the 3. He's gone in inside, but Arcady goes down the lane to score.
Get a job
from
for
3.
Tom,
Penny's Touran.
You've definitely improved during the night there, Tom, with the commentary.
And it's got the whole rhythm of it of letting things happen before speaking on them.
It's my stream has improved in quality, which is a predominant factor. I can actually see the racing.
Well, lads, you may as well stick at the last first round for now, we?
Yeah,
I suppose so. Yeah.
Why not? I've got 4 beers to polish.
Yeah, I'm drinking 3 beers, like so. I'm
Yeah,
going. Like,
I'm
I don't think I've anything else to watch after this anyway. So
I'm gonna get a top up. PL's been on. We win every night on the 3 first round nights. I'll leave you in charge. As I said last week, PL, first round of any major competition, where to make hay.
He's turned around and said like all this. He's left you with his nap during day shift, and then he's gone. Oh, I'll let the shit hit the fan, and then he's gone. Oh, all of a sudden I'm frozen. Get bollocks.
He's also said just as well. I wouldn't have got a word in edgeways with Conor and Tricky tonight. You two have been excellent. Finish with a great listening tonight, lads. Yeah, it's been a good group.
So anyway, like, what wins the derby from this point?
like you have to say, like obviously, I still can't get over Pressfield. Like he smashed up the best field. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
tomorrow's the night of the top line. So
yeah. What's your fantasy for tomorrow night then?
Tonight was the only night of racing.
Yeah, like something's gonna have to come out tomorrow, like, and just stand it up. Like from the Irish perspective, do you know, it's like, no, he's just now the standout dog. Like, I normally did like laugh like picking the market leader is the obvious one, but you kind of go like something has to kind of go wrong with him because like you were saying about walk not trapping, right? He was in probably one of the best 30 pace races you could probably end up in tonight, bar maybe you like maybe the Signet Aces and all them. But like
I'm gonna say, he could find himself in bigger water, but his pace 2 to 3 gets him out, doesn't it?
Oh no, he's I can't fault him there. Like he's honestly fantastic. Like, but other than that, like on tonight's results, like you're not going to say Hello Hammond's going to win the derby. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like he's the dog, as you said, as Tom said. Like there's dogs winning the heats there that are kind of going like, is Aussie Captain going to win the derby? No. Like I just, them type of dogs, they're winning the heats, but he says tomorrow night might have to throw them up. But yeah, like hold on, it's
something like Singalong Sally tomorrow night.
Well, yeah, hold on, look, she
could.
She's run up the Irish.
She is a weapon, isn't she?
And lads, I can't explain like her runs in Thurles at the start of the year were like I cannot stress how good they are. Like they're fucking unbelievable. I was going like, I know she was a completely different grade to what she was running, but what she was putting on the clock. Now all tracks have got quicker in Ireland, right? Don't point pretending otherwise. Thurles has got quicker than what it was, but she did the second world fast run after digital, which is 28:11 around Thurles, which is like off the chart. It's just freak stuff. Like when
Tommy over there, and he just said to me, he said he watched a trial session go round with some good dogs going round, and she went 30 spots over the sprint quicker. And just not just quicker, just like 4 lengths quicker, like just freakishly fucking quicker. Like, the track was so far back.
She's such a freak. Like, she's unbelievable. Like, she ran up the Irish Derby, and like that's obvious to say as well. But like, her runs in Thurles, holy shit, lads! Like, I actually couldn't even believe what I was seeing when she was doing it.
The draw she's got, like I mean, I know she's like even money 5 to 4, but like the 1-3 on 0, and
yeah, 100%.
2's not a starter. He's not really like a trapper, is he?
Who?
Ballymac Furlong.
No, but you know he can run the track. I thought he was mighty impressive last week. He'd been off
Yeah,
for
he
like
was
6
decent last
months,
week. Yeah.
and he was in with Scorrick Barry, who did like a 4:04 sectional. Like he couldn't have done anything. He couldn't have run any better out of you said the box one that you don't break from. And he's proven around the track. Like, so to be fair, he is still a big force to be reckoned with. Like, but
Well,
oh look,
I
it's
mean, I think she'll just lead him though. I think she'll just have a length out of the box and that'll be enough. And she'll take his nose off at the corner.
but I do think like from tonight's results, like even looking back at them now, to be fair, Signet Ace, like he keeps that up. He is proven as well. Like to be fair, to be
Yeah,
dog of the year. Like,
he's so much better out of the middle. He doesn't want the rail. I'd sooner him be in 5 than in 1.
like he went out to Derby last year because he got one member in the quarter final. Like, but like he's a classy act. You have to Band of Ballet. Bocco's belly. To be fair, he ran the blinder behind Band of Ballet. Like if he was in either heat, smashed him up. Like he ran a blind. I just can't see Signet Goofy keep doing it. Like when he goes in with the better types. Like you know,
he's going to need the right sort of track every night, isn't he? He's going to need the right sort of track every night.
He wants to. Like,
I'll tell you now. I'm not just saying it, like, but I think he could play because if he leads every night, which he probably would. Mind you, I don't know if he would or not. I mean, it's hard to say.
But the worst things you said he could get is a night of rain. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants the fair weather tracks every night, fast. Keep it fast.
He was a bit slow before he run, and all of a sudden, you know, he's got on the skin, but it's just so hard to pass here.
Oh yeah. To be fair, look, Swift Iconic has an unbelievable card. Like,
yeah, he does. Yeah.
He's only a pup. Like, he's an unbelievable card. He actually could be anything. Like, do you know?
Well, he won that. I mean, we had me and Dylan have a bitch, and it was in the red that, and it won a sprint open in 1597, and we were like, oh, well, you know, it's run well, the Swift dog, but you're thinking, is it all that? Well, it's seeing its races out so much better.
Oh, it definitely is.
You know, during the maiden derby and that, you know, because it looked vulnerable in that, didn't it? But like, same with the Goofy dog, he seems to be getting a bit stronger.
Yeah, like honestly, like you said, like he did the 1550 sprint, like, but he's in October 20, like,
yeah,
he's only a pup, like if he was over here,
strengthened up a little bit, like in the next couple of weeks.
Like if he, but even not even like away from the derby, even aspect. If he was in Ireland, he could run the puppy derby at the end of the year, like.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he is a pro. Like he actually could be anything now. Like to be fair, fought and rebel. Like he's some greyhound. Like the injuries he had.
Yeah, I'm going to say that it's more the injury that he's had and to come back.
But also he's a 4.5-year-old. He's November 17.
I love the owner on there. She's always like Louise, and she's like the enthusiasm for the greyhound. You know, sometimes like I just look at them and think, oh, they've had good dogs all their life, and you know they kind of. They don't appreciate them, but she really appreciates them.
Of course, 100%. Like she appreciates what she has.
Yeah.
But you said his injury, and then he's 4.5-year-old. But the funny thing is, I marked him as a dodge a long time ago. Like he was never winning races, like.
Yeah.
And now he's actually putting like he's better now at the moment than he ever was. Like I remember the fellas. I know Kieran Morgan had him over here, and he was trying and he was doing fast trials, and he just wasn't like he was winning. He was doing faster solo trials and he was winning races, and even when he wasn't getting touched, and he had a bit of a question mark over him. And I watched him over here for a long time, and he ran, and like he was always like finished in second, short heads, half lane. You're kind of going like, right, there's a common factor here. But now, like since he's come back from injury, he's just going and winning races. Like he's not like he's better than he ever was at the moment, easily, and just shows you it's mad you can get dogs a 4.5-year-old lads write them off. Like he said, he's to be 5 in November. Like
some training performance, I think from Yates, like you know, that's
fantastic. To bring him back from his injury and for his age, the dog, like, and he's running it out of skin, like.
Through a derby as well, which was a good derby. You know, I mean, he's been in a good eat as well. Like you know, I think, you know.
Ballymac Belleville to snuck through again. He just keeps qualifying. He doesn't win races either.
One of them, hasn't he? Like where he's had like such a low-profile team of like dogs, where you think you couldn't have ever envisioned him winning the derby, but he'll probably have something go to the latter stages. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Fair made the final again.
Well, like Fair One was always his best chance going over, and obviously Leon kind of like. He surprised me the clock he did overall on that, and he kind of go.
Well, the thing is, he
love.
had soft heat though, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Like,
coming to a proper heat, and he's been shown up a bit.
Because like if Fair One qualifies tomorrow night, which like if he qualifies tomorrow night, he'll run like Leon and that in the plate, like, you know.
Yeah.
And to be fair to him, he was in the hottest race tonight. Like he was in with Buckle's belly and Bandit It's like if he drew one of the other heats, he probably pisses in, like, you know. So look, it's great. But I know what you're saying. Like I kind of went. I said to myself, this is Dowland's weakest team for a long time in the English Derby, like. And you said it's all on Fair One for a dog that hasn't ran 6 months. But you said this dog's like he just needs to get him through tomorrow night, Fair One, and then you says he could just now, after 2 runs on his belt, he could become a big player in the Derby, like, you know.
Like you say, last year for me, he went unrecognised, and then he got to the 3rd round, and I think he won one night, and like on the 3rd round, I went, he's my idea of the winner.
Yeah.
I literally went, he's my idea of the winner. I said to you, I said, this little pup will win the Derby.
The big thing though about him compared to like the Leon dog, he did 28-20 in a race in Shelburne. Like he had done the clock. Like he just hadn't run in the grade. But like there's a big difference between like what you said, by McLeon, whatever. He kind of went over and was kind of like an unexposed type. So like, hold on, look, it's if he I just think you said Fair One needs that one more race. And if he finds himself, he's in the 3rd round, he becomes a big player. Just wants to avoid trap 1.
Yeah, just get out to him for each night.
But that's everything, like. But yeah, you should.
Last year when he got the pinging boxes, he made advantage of them.
Of course, 100%. But I'm not trying to like. There was something weird about the final, like the trapping, like the middle box.
Possibly the crowd.
Everything like it wasn't even like that. They didn't come out. They were just so, like I remember seeing Torn Falcon and Carlisle Line. They were gone, and the rest of the dogs weren't even out of the boxes yet. Like, and you're going like, as if there was something about the trapping end of it, or like it was a no race, if you know what I mean. It was over from the boxes. Yeah. It was a 2-dog race out of the boxes.
I have a theory, but I'll keep it to myself.
Oh Jesus. I'd love to hear. At least text me that later, will you?
No, I'll text you. Yeah, I've got my theory.
But yeah, no, it was weird. Now I must say, like that final, like. But to be fair to Torn Falcon, he had run well in the Derby all throughout. Like when you look back at it, like he wasn't a fluke winner of it. Like he wasn't like a shock winner. Like.
It was a consistent dog, wasn't he? The Lion dog just progressively got better, didn't
he? He was running poor in the early rounds, you said, and then he got better and better and came back to the form.
He's wound up,
yeah, he came back to the dog that he had been when like he won like what 3 Cat 1s. He won the Yarmouth Derby.
The final, though, they just both gone.
I was looking at him kind of going, I remember going, he's not the same. He won that the Cat 1 toaster. He won the Yarmouth Derby and he won the Sussex Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, he won.
I think the 3 Cat 1s he won. And like he said, I was going like he's just not the dog he was. Like I remember even his trials, he said he just got better and better, and he was coming on each week. Like, and then he nearly got the job done in the final. Like.
Well, to be fair, without the Falcon dog, he probably would have done.
Yeah, but like to be fair to like Clara Lyon, like lads were saying, the shock was in the final. He was the caliber of the dog. Like he was winning Cat 1s, like so he wasn't a fluke dog to be in the final. Like he wasn't like Seamus Cattle's dog that won it the year.
He just did the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Did he? No, but you said, but it's all about hanging. The Derby, you said it's all about hanging in there, like. Because you said that's the problem, like, because you said if you get
going in at Romford.
what was that?
We're going in at Romford. I've had a small interest on 1 Air Activate, slow away dog in 2. I think he's got a reasonable chance of commanding the inside. Ical's Rockaver, if he pings, he will win.
Fuck me, he's come out under the tip. That's a toey break.
I'm behind. Will I wave of the flag? Lids rise, off and racing. Ical's Rocco absolutely flashes out and has won. There's no point in me commentating from this point onwards. Chased in by Error Activate. But Ical's Rocco is 2-3 lengths clear. Back to Error Activate and then Crowhane Ollie. But as Error Activate turns the fine, as Ical's Rocco turns the home and hose for all money. Error Activate back in second.
Well done to Alan Ballard and Gary Wiltshire.
It's been a long night.
Gary Wiltshire is one of the nicest people in dog racing.
Did you see the boys in the stand there giving the lucky last the fist in the air?
I'll give it some of that.
With double
How's it going over the line as well?
It's the only specialist track I actually like, Romford. Like I can't look at Crayford and Harlow and I just turn them off, can't even look at them. But that I don't know, Romford's just fucking it's watchable, like, you know. I actually enjoy the racing in Romford. I enjoy the racing in Romford, like, you know.
You can follow it because the same dogs turn up there week after week, and
yeah, and like even going to it Friday night Romford's great crack, like.
It's the best.
You know?
It's the best night out in UK
yeah.
in British Greyhound racing.
I must admit, I will say that. Like, if you go to Romford on a Friday night, it's enjoyable. But the racing itself is not for me. It was probably 5 years ago, 6 years. I think it was class 6 years ago. But now it's becoming like it's a fucking graded meeting.
Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it's a graded meeting. Really.
Yeah, no, that is true because like the caliber of upper class dog isn't there what once was there, as you said. Like talk about maybe
the Wallace dogs turning up like they were probably like the back end of his kennel, but like, you know, a Vanta Vita and, you know, dogs in Spain. Just have proper dogs going around every week. Now it's like being shit.
I remember as well, like the top grade Romford dogs, they used to always be ridiculously big prices in the first.
What used to have a good class of dog in.
Yeah,
always had a good class of dog in.
Well, I mean, like you remember, like I remember, like the first round of the English Derby in Wimbledon, like, and the Romford dogs would always go well in the first few rounds. Like they wouldn't go the distance. I remember like going like they'd be like 8-1.
At a time,
yeah, classic. Like
what was that Romford dog that won it though?
Salad Dodger.
No, it wasn't Salad Dodger.
Salad Dodger. Stop! I can't hack Salad Dodger. I just can't. I just can't. Right, I just can't. I don't
know how it happened. It seems
I don't ever offend anyone, but he is the worst Derby winner I've ever seen. I can't explain him. Like, and he was. I think it was Croker's Champ. That was his year. Like Croker's Champ didn't stay. Like, but Salad Dodger won the Derby. Like, Jesus Christ.
Rio Quattro. He wasn't a Romford trainer, but he was a Romford dog.
Trained him,
Oh, he was an absolute rogue, though.
He was a rogue, yes, correct.
Absolute. But he broke the track record in Henlow, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, he was a 23.95 Romford dog when no one broke 24 seconds.
I backed the Blitz dog meet at like even money on the night, and the Blitz dog's led, and I've gone up, and I've gone, oh shit! He's like the ones within like 3 lengths, and I'm like, this could just chase his fucking head off, and he did.
But the runs had taken his toll on fire a little bit. He was gone in the final.
He was same in the Irish Derby, wasn't he? He was like win, and he had nothing.
He was gone. And even like he never won a final.
That was Owen McKenna's dog, wasn't it? Followed
but he was the best dog in the Derby. Like there was no dispute. But like he got bet in the Puppy Derby final. I remember he got bet in the Super Sprint Court final. He got bet in the English Derby final. He got bet in the consecutive runs took its toll on him. But in a single one-off race, he was the best. One of the best ready pace dogs I've ever seen. Easy.
Yeah.
But Rio Quattro from 2 to 3 was an absolute freak.
Yeah,
he was absolute. Do you remember? I remember even the year before he won the Derby. Remember he did a huge run on the final night. I think he did 28-17 or so. He went quicker than the Derby final. I remember and all that. He was only a pup at the time, and he broke the clock in Henlow. But yeah, no, he was the machine. But he just had other things going on in his head. But he never actually fought though. But
well, I thought that could be perfect for him to fight.
Yeah.
If anything, you think chasing a dog that can't go with you, and then all of a sudden you get to it and you think he's just nib. He's gonna have to fight or win.
But he was better in. He was better in with faster dogs, like.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rio Quattro, Jesus, yeah.
What a dog.
Right, we're back tomorrow night. No PL tomorrow because he's at the wedding that he was preparing for tonight in the hotel. So my co-host tomorrow is Ryan Keneally, which is a treat for one and all. Craig Grove is a special guest, but in a major twist, anyone watching can join the stream tomorrow.
Oof.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Do you know what the worst thing is, Tom? I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm going to join the stream and I'm going to be twatted.
Join the stream. If anyone fancies doing a race or two with us, drop us a message and I will send you a link. You'll come into a little waiting room and we'll bring you in and we can do a few races with a few people.
Like 15 African guys just giving it death. That's
You
what
have
me and
to,
Dean used
you
to
have
do.
to commentate on the Champions League in the background as well, though.
There's a small disclaimer that you'll have to agree to for each to come on, which everyone has to agree, which includes things like not calling people a cheat and not calling anyone a nonce, which
Craig?
we get an email back for
By
most
the
of
way,
them.
did Nathan contract AIDS or he didn't? I hope he didn't.
What on earth?
No, because I said to him the last day, I hope he get AIDS. And I'm like, I hope he didn't. I'm like, no, I'm just taking it back.
Oh, we almost got through a whole show without you saying something absolutely outrageous. But,
I spoke to him.
9:48 after the
I said,
laugh.
I hope he didn't.
Your pals, you're all right. Thank you, Tricky. You're back late in the derby, aren't you? And thank you very much as well, Connor. You've been an excellent guest. Hopefully, we'll get you on again soon.
Yeah, no problem.
Cheers, mate.
Smashing. Cheers, chaps. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
Good night.
All right, lads. Talk